Been supported by my female boss for 8 years, why are you crying when I leave? That year, Gu Chufeng's family went through a huge change, and he ended up on the streets. It was Su Qiaoxue who saved him, took him to the company, and taught him how to handle work step by step. During the day, he was a secretary. At night, he and Su Qiaoxue were a couple. Gu Chufeng once thought they would be together for a lifetime. But one day, Su Qiaoxue brought in a new secretary, a male college student. They went in and out together, getting close to each other. People at the company said she had found her true love. They even assumed that the college student had framed Gu Chufeng. At that moment, Gu Chufeng realized that to Su Qiaoxue, he was nothing but a tool. He tendered his resignation and began a new life. If you leave, don't regret it. You're just throwing a tantrum this way. Gu Chufeng, you're too childish. Throwing a tantrum? No. His heart had simply died. Su Qiaoxue thought Gu Chufeng would definitely come back. But as he walked farther and farther away, she panicked. I beg you, come back. Ms. Su, please meet my wife. Chapter 1, Her Confidence. The dog will always return to its master. Mr. Su, here is my resignation letter. In the heart of the magic city, atop a skyscraper, Gu Chufeng placed his resignation letter on the table. The woman in front of him remained cold as ice, her deep eyes betraying no hint of emotion. Her short hair could not conceal her stunning beauty, just as it had been 8 years ago when they first met. 8 years ago, Gu Chufeng's life had been turned upside down. His parents died in a car accident, and his relatives seized their home. Once living in a happy family, Gu Chufeng was now homeless. During the darkest time in his life, Su Qiaoxue appeared. She took him in and made him her lover. She brought him into her company, and despite his complete lack of experience, made him her secretary, teaching him everything about business, negotiations, and management. Perhaps because of Gu Chufeng's natural business acumen and quick learning, he rapidly established himself in the company. Together, he and Su Qiaoxue designed several groundbreaking investment projects that brought in massive profits, helping Su Qiaoxue's company, Su Group, become one of the most prestigious investment firms in the Magic City in just a few years. By day, Gu Chufeng was Su Qiaoxue's most capable secretary. By night, they lived together like a couple, indulging in their passion without a care for the world. Back then, Gu Chufeng thought that he and Su Qiaoxue would be together for life, eventually ending up together in the end. But everything changed 3 months ago. He glanced at the young man standing beside Su Qiaoxue, Qianbei, a fresh graduate. His delicate, frail appearance gave off a strong protective vibe. He spoke gently, always able to brighten someone's mood with just a few words. Qianbei had appeared 3 months ago and had quickly become Su Qiaoxue's new secretary. They went everywhere together, their closeness becoming obvious to everyone. People at the company started saying that the chairwoman had found her true soulmate, and they believed the two would eventually get together. By then, Gu Chufeng had already been promoted to director of the secretarial department, but the bitterness in his heart only grew. Su Qiaoxue had taught Qianbei everything, just as she had once done for Gu Chufeng. She pampered him in life, just like she had done for Gu Chufeng 8 years ago. That was when he realized he had been abandoned. In the past 3 months, Qianbei had sabotaged Gu Chufeng countless times. The whole company knew about it, but Su Qiaoxue remained indifferent, growing even closer to Qianbei. The breaking point came when Gu Chufeng was involved in a car accident and was forced to stay in the hospital. Su Qiaoxue had only called once, telling him to handle business matters despite his painful injuries. He had drunkenly agreed, vomiting uncontrollably and lying in the ICU for 7 days. Later, he found out that the project he had worked on was originally meant for Qianbei, but since Qianbei couldn't drink, he had begged Su Qiaoxue to send Gu Chufeng in his place. What truly made Gu Chufeng decide to resign, however, happened 3 days ago. He had accompanied Su Qiaoxue to a friend's gathering. When he returned from the restroom, he overheard a conversation outside the door. Gu Chufeng? Yes, just the lover I keep, a dog. If he starts having ideas he shouldn't tea, I can replace him at any time. That moment, he realized that he had overestimated his place in her life. Was it Su Qiaoxue's fault? No, it wasn't he. From the beginning, they had agreed that he would be her lover. But he had developed feelings he shouldn't have had. And now, Su Qiaoxue had someone else by her side. That person was younger and better at pleasing her. He knew it was time to leave. The debt of gratitude from 8 years ago, he had tried to repay with everything he had. Now, he was ready to let go. The office was eerily silent. Su Qiaoxue looked at the resignation letter on the table, tapping her fingers on the surface. She raised her head, looking at Gu Chufeng with a playful glint in her eyes. Was he releasing his dissatisfaction in this way? Gu Chufeng, how childish. Su Qiaoxue didn't believe that Gu Chufeng would truly leave. In her eyes, he was just a dog. How could a dog ever leave its master? Gu, don't be like this. Are you sure there has been some misunderstanding between you and Ms. Su? It was Chen Bei, speaking up at that moment. Look at him, always knowing when to speak, carefully crafting his kind-hearted persona. No wonder he could always make Su Qiaoxue happy. But what difference did it make? In the past, Gu Chufeng would have lashed out at him, but not anymore. Some people were meant to be above him, and would never belong to him. Since that was the case, he might as well face reality and leave. At least he would preserve a shred of dignity, rather than being thrown out like trash. Have you made up your mind? Her voice was cold, devoid of any emotion, as if speaking to a regular employee. Yes, I've made up my mind. Gu Chufeng nodded. Good. Su Qiaoxue picked up the resignation letter and read through it, lost in thought. If there is nothing else, I'll be leaving. Millimeter. Su Qiaoxue gazed at Gu Chufeng, still not believing he would really leave. She was the most famous female CEO in the Magic City, with a high position and untold wealth. No one could manipulate her, not even the lover she had kept for 8 years. She was curious to see how Gu Chufeng would end up. Perhaps he would come crying to her, begging her to take him back. And then, she would act mercifully and allow him to return. Everything was the same as before. Nothing would change. But what Su Qiaoxue didn't know was that, in this world, no one is irreplaceable. Ms. Su, maybe you should clarify things with Gu. Watching Gu Chufeng walk away, Su Qiaoxue's expression was unreadable. Chen Bei, standing next to her, had a triumphant glint in his eyes. This was exactly what he wanted. Now that Gu Chufeng had left, his biggest competitor was gone. But, in order to maintain his persona, he still said, Gu, you truly intend to leave. Gu Chufeng was highly capable, kind to his subordinates, and well known for protecting them within the company. He never took credit for others' achievements, earning him great respect from the secretarial team. Chen Bei? Gu Chufeng nodded, handing the resignation letter to the person in front of him. When they come out, give this to Ms. Su for her signature. Let me know when it's done, and I'll come pick it up. Though he was ready to leave, hearing that Chen Bei and Su Qiaoxue were still inside the office and no one was allowed in left a bitter taste in Gu Chufeng's heart. After all, letting go wasn't as easy as deleting a conversation. Deletion was quick, but letting go took time to process. Still, it didn't matter. Gu Chufeng no longer lacked time. Got it, Gu. Don't worry. Gu, are you really leaving? The person in front of him spoke with reluctance. When he first entered the company, he had been under Gu Chufeng's wing. Back then, he was clueless, and Gu Chufeng had taught him everything. When he made mistakes, Gu Chufeng would scold him but always took the blame for him and guided him on how to do better next time. To them, Gu Chufeng wasn't just a leader, he was like an older brother. Now, this older brother was leaving, and the feeling of loss was overwhelming. Keep working hard. Gu Chufeng didn't answer the question. Instead, he left those words and silently accepted that everything was now decided. It was time to go. 8 years. His underground relationship with Su Qiaoxue had run its course and was finally coming to an end. It was always meant to be kept in the dark. At first, there had been whispers about Gu Chufeng and Su Qiaoxue's relationship in the company, but with his quick learning and solid abilities, those rumors had eventually disappeared. Back then, Gu Chufeng had asked Su Qiaoxue if she needed to worry about it, and she had simply asked him in return, aren't you? But this time, with the rumors involving Chen Bei, Su Qiaoxue had fired the employees involved. That was probably the difference between love and indifference. Leaving those final words behind, Gu Chufeng left the company. But little did he know, as he walked out, Su Qiaoxue was just about to leave her office. Ms. Su, this is Gu's resignation process, for your signature. Should I ask Gu to come back? He probably hasn't he gone far. At these words, Su Qiaoxue looked at the person with a sharp gaze. Are you teaching me how to do my job? I didn't mean to. Su Qiaoxue took the resignation letter and returned to her office. She read through the process with a calm expression, then tossed it into the trash bin. Gu Chufeng had no idea what was happening on the other side. He drove to the villa where Su Qiaoxue usually stayed, the same place they had lived together. Although they were merely lovers, every night they shared the same bedroom, living like a couple or even a married couple. Perhaps it was this illusion that had made Gu Chufeng develop feelings he shouldn't have had. Yes, a lover should have the mindset of a lover. But now, looking at every detail of the villa, memories flooded Gu Chufeng's mind. In the past few months, Su Qiaoxue had rarely returned. It didn't take much to guess it was likely because she was spending time with Chen Bei. As the saying goes, new lovers smile, but old lovers cry. So, it was time to leave. Gu Chufeng only took a few clothes, his computer, and tablet, nothing else. As he stepped out of the villa, he glanced back one last time. Then, without looking back, he turned and walked away. The sun was shining, and the breeze was gentle. Perhaps the weather was perfect, and Gu Chufeng felt much lighter now. But little did he know, in another CBD building in the Magic City, the woman sitting in the chairman's office on the top floor received a phone call. Chairwoman, Mr. Gu has submitted his resignation. He's likely headed to his apartment in the Magic City. Hearing this, the woman's lips curved into a slight smile. Got it. She hung up the phone, her eyes gleaming. She knew, her chance had arrived. If Su Qiaoxue didn't want Gu Chufeng, then she would take him. Chapter 2, If we don't contact soon, he'll be gone. At the moment when Gu Chufeng left the villa, Su Qiaoxue received a call. Miss, Mr. Gu just came to the villa and took his things. Upon hearing the housekeeper's words, Su Qiaoxue kept tapping the table with her fingers, her face filled with disdain. I understand. He'll be back in a few days. She had raised him for so many years. Su Qiaoxue was certain that Gu Chufeng wouldn't leave her. Maybe in a few days, or even tomorrow, he would come back. So, this was nothing to worry about. But Su Qiaoxue had really never understood Gu Chufeng. Once he made a decision, he would not regret it. After a while, Gu Chufeng arrived at the apartment in the heart of Magic City. In finance, Gu Chufeng was truly talented. He had started investing in stocks many years ago, and over the years, except for a few occasional losses, the rest of his investments had been profitable. In just a few years, he had earned enough to buy an apartment, 19 commercial properties, shares in several companies, and a bank balance of 470 million. However, since he usually lived with Su Qiaoxue, he hadn't had the chance to visit this apartment after it was renovated. The apartment was 482 square meters, a large flat with an elegant, minimalist design. The renovations had been done by Gu Chufeng himself, with a simple yet classy style. Many places had been designed with creative ideas, and after completing the renovation, Gu Chufeng had thought that, if he had become an interior designer, he might have made a lot of money. As the elevator door slowly opened, Gu Chufeng stepped out. He had not expected that, as soon as he arrived, he would run into a familiar face. Wang Ziki, chairwoman of Juanda Investment Group. This company had been a long-established investment firm for 40 years, involved in many projects both domestically and internationally, and had earned a leading position in the investment sector. A few years ago, Wang Ziki joined the company as CEO, carrying out internal reforms. She dismissed many outdated figures, abandoned several loss-making investments, and helped the company regain its strength. With her sharp vision, she successfully invested in domestic internet companies, pharmaceuticals, and new energy vehicles, putting the company on a fast track to growth once again. But now, the high-profile female CEO was standing at the door, holding a dog, her face showing urgency. Chairwoman Huang. Gu Chufeng and Huang Ziki were old acquaintances, having crossed paths several times in business. As the saying goes, rivals are the closest friends. In their business dealings, they had clashed many times, but most of the time, Gu Chufeng came out on top. So, they were quite familiar with each other. Gu Chufeng. Huang Ziki looked at him, a slight smile curling at the corner of her lips. Then, she pointed at the building beside them. Is this your place? Hearing this, Gu Chufeng nodded. Yes, Chairwoman Huang. Your. Gu Chufeng looked at Huang Ziki and noticed the coolness in her tone. I forgot my keys. I've already asked my secretary to fetch the spare keys from the office. It'll probably take about an hour to return. If you don't mind, would you like to come in and wait for a bit? In the business world, they were competitors, but outside of it, they were neighbors. More importantly, now that Gu Chufeng had resigned, there was no longer any conflict of interest between them. Thank you. You're welcome. Huang Ziki felt quite pleased. Step 1 was a success. Now, it was time for step 2. At this moment, Gu Chufeng would have never guessed that everything had been arranged by Huang Ziki. The apartment's decor was simple and understated but still full of character. Chairwoman Huang, please have some water. Gu Chufeng washed 2 glasses, poured water into them, and placed one in front of Huang Ziki and the other in his hand. He then sat on the sofa. To be honest, Huang Ziki was quite attractive. Maybe she was truly blessed by the heavens. She had a perfect family background, exceptional talents, and on top of that, she possessed outstanding beauty and a top-tier figure. I heard you resigned from Ms. Su's company. Upon hearing this, Gu Chufeng raised his head. Chairwoman Huang, you really hear news quickly. This circle wasn't too large, especially for someone like Gu Chufeng, who was a key figure. Every move he made would be quickly spread throughout the industry, so he wasn't too surprised that Huang Ziki knew. Of course. Someone who has beaten me so many times, I definitely keep an eye on you. Hearing this, Gu Chufeng's lips curved slightly. Then, Chairwoman Huang, how many people are you keeping an eye on? Right now, just you. Huang Ziki stared at Gu Chufeng, her gaze intense. For some reason, Gu Chufeng felt that her words sounded rather ambiguous. In that case, I'm honored. But Chairwoman Huang, you've also beaten me a few times. They had their share of wins and losses, but Gu Chufeng had won more often than not. So, do you have me in your heart? Huang Ziki asked directly. Maybe it was because Huang Ziki had suddenly moved closer to him, causing her perfume to waft into Gu Chufeng's nose. It smelled quite nice. Before Gu Chufeng could answer, his phone suddenly rang. He looked at the caller ID. Sorry, I need to take this call. After saying this, Gu Chufeng stepped out onto the balcony. As Gu Chufeng was on the phone, Huang Ziki took a watch out of her pocket. After confirming that Gu Chufeng wasn't looking, she placed the watch in the crack of the sofa. Once everything was done, she returned to her previous demeanor. I'm sorry, but I don't have any plans to join another company at the moment. Okay, if I change my mind, I'll contact you right away. Gu Chufeng's abilities were well known in the industry. In fact, just after resigning, other companies had already reached out. However, with his multiple stores, shares in several companies, and millions in savings, he didn't need to work. The financial industry was too chaotic, and Gu Chufeng didn't like it. He had forced himself to stay in it because of Su Qiaoxue, but now that he had severed ties with her, he just wanted to do things he enjoyed and enjoy life to the fullest. After the call ended, Gu Chufeng returned from the balcony. What's wrong? It looks like someone is trying to poach you. Huang Ziki looked at him. Well, kind of. But right now, I just want to enjoy life and do things I like. As for work, I'm not thinking about it. This circle is chaotic, but you have great ability and a clean soul. It's good that you left. What exactly does Huang Ziki like about Gu Chufeng? Ability? Looks? Figure? She liked them all. But if she had to pick one, it would be the aura around Gu Chufeng. He was in the midst of the bustling world of fame and fortune, yet he had such a pure and clean aura. This quality enchanted Huang Ziki. It was like poison. Even though she knew all about Gu Chufeng and Su Qiaoxue's past, she was helplessly falling deeper into it. So, what do you like to do? Asking about the other person's interests was a good way to keep the conversation flowing. Well, I guess cooking would be it. That's great. Upon hearing this, Gu Chufeng looked up at Huang Ziki. Do you like cooking too? No, I like eating. Pfft. Both of them burst out laughing. At that moment, the atmosphere lightened, no longer cold and distant like when they first started talking. I just wonder if I'll be lucky enough to have a good meal today. Wang Ziki had learned about Gu Chufeng. He was rather passive. So if they were going to get closer, she needed to take the initiative. Of course, you will. How about having dinner at my place today, Mr. Wang? Gu Chufeng felt that Wang Ziki was unusually proactive today. He didn't have many friends, and the two of them had quite a few common topics, so he naturally followed along with her suggestion. Sure. But don't call me Mr. Wang. It sounds strange. Just call me Ziki, or even Kiki if you prefer. Step 2 in getting closer, using intimate nicknames. Well, I want to be polite then, Ziki. Chufeng. The two shared a smile. Scene break. At KTV, inside the VIP private room. Su Qiaoxue was sitting in the middle, surrounded by a few glamorous-looking girls. Hey, Qiaoxue, today is my birthday, can you stop being so cold? A slightly chubby girl with delicate features, looking like a porcelain doll, sat beside Su Qiaoxue and said loudly. She was one of Su Qiaoxue's best friends. Su Qiaoxue's circle of friends was either rich or noble. The people here were all known to Gu Chufeng, as Su Qiaoxue often brought him to gatherings with her friends. But recently, it was Chen Bei who replaced him. Today, however, she didn't bring Chen Bei along and instead came here to drink alone, occasionally checking her phone. Usually, Gu Chufeng wouldn't go more than an hour without contacting her, but now, it had been for whole hours and he still hadn't contacted her. This left her feeling anxious. By the way, I wanted to ask you something. Did Gu Chufeng quit his job? Hearing the name Gu Chufeng, Su Qiaoxue's mood instantly darkened. How do you know? Their whole circle knows. I heard that Mr. Wang contacted him right away, hoping he'd come work as the director of investment with an annual salary in the millions. Upon hearing this, Su Qiaoxue clenched her fists. It felt like something that was hers was being eyed by someone else. As soon as this statement was made, the entire room fell silent. Everyone knew about it, but seeing Su Qiaoxue's expression, no one dared to say anything. Only the bold and carefree Chen Chen dared to speak. But he didn't take it, he said he wanted to rest. Hearing this, Su Qiaoxue relaxed. She knew it. Gu Chufeng was just sulking. Once this period passed, he would come back. They would go back to how things were. He has been too tired these days, just giving him a few days off, he'll be back soon, Su Qiaoxue said. She believed that Gu Chufeng would never leave her. So he didn't? What a shame. My dad wants me to join our family's company, but I don't know anything about managing it. I was thinking of poaching him. Sigh. Hearing this, Su Qiaoxue felt a twinge of bitterness in her heart. She stood up. I'm going to the restroom. With that, she pushed open the door and left the private room. What do you think, is something really going on between Gu Chufeng and Qiaoxue? Probably. Even though Qiaoxue says she is keeping Gu Chufeng, he is handsome, has a good figure, and is capable. In this circle, he is loyal. I really thought they could end up together. If they really break up, I'm going to make a move on Gu Chufeng. He is so handsome, it'd be great to sleep with him for a few days. Chen Qian was always the one to speak bluntly. She was open-minded about these things, as this circle was chaotic and full of such stories, no one really paid much attention. Well, I think Qiaoxue might just kill you for that. Based on her reaction just now, she clearly doesn't see him as just a regular lover. But, if he's not just a lover, then why is that guy named Bei showing up? In their minds, Chen Bei was nothing compared to Gu Chufeng. He'd only shown up a few times, clinging to Su Qiaoxue, crying every now and then, which annoyed everyone. When compared to Gu Chufeng, there was no contest. It could even be said it was like comparing heaven and earth. No one knew why Su Qiaoxue chose Chen Bei, it was just bizarre. Su Qiaoxue came out of the restroom and was washing her hands when a voice suddenly came from behind her. Aren't you going to call him? Su Qiaoxue turned around to see it was Xie Shahan, another of her best friends. She turned back and continued washing her hands. Why are you out here? You know I don't like this atmosphere, and if it wasn't for Xiao Qian choosing this place, I wouldn't have come. Compared to the other girls in the group, Xie Shahan's private life was the cleanest. She had been with her childhood sweetheart since high school, and after graduating from university, they got married. Now, their life together was quite happy and blissful. Still pretending. If you really didn't care, why were you checking your phone so much in the private room? If I remember correctly, this is the first time you've done this. Xia Shahan looked at Su Qiaoxue, her tone calm. He'll come back. Su Qiaoxue repeated her words seriously. Upon hearing this, Xia Shahan sighed. You've always been a confident person. But love isn't like other things. With other things, you can use logic to judge, but love has nothing to do with logic. I don't know why you let Qianbei hurt him, even sending him to the ICU. But I know that if he leaves, you will definitely fall apart. So as your friend, I advise you to contact him. Xia Shahan looked at Su Qiaoxue, her tone serious. Hearing this, Su Qiaoxue gave a small smile. Shahan, you're a pure love warrior, don't think of me that way. He's just a lover, at most a lover who's been around a bit longer. Even if he doesn't come back, I'll be fine. Don't forget, as long as I want, I can have countless lovers. At that moment, what could Xia Shahan say? All right. Just as she was turning to go back, she suddenly remembered something. Qiaoxue, there's no one in this world who can't live without someone. Once you miss it, it's really gone. My people told me that Huang Ziki and Gu Chufeng are neighbors, and after Gu Chufeng quit his job today, Huang Ziki moved in there. You should know what she's thinking. That's all I'm going to say. The rest, you can think about it yourself. Su Qiaoxue heard this and gripped her phone tightly, her expression dark and uncertain. At that moment, her negative emotions could have filled the hearts of a dozen evil sword immortals. Back in the private room, Su Qiaoxue continued to drink, one glass after another, seemingly trying to get herself drunk. Chapter 3, Su Qiaoxue's breaking point, they really are together. Chufeng, this one, and this one, and this one are also delicious. What should I do? I want to eat them all. No one would have expected Huang Ziki, the one who controls a business empire, to have such a childish side. Surprisingly, it was quite cute. Gu Chufeng's lips curled into a faint smile. He didn't even realize when he started feeling this relaxed. If he thought about it carefully, it seemed like it was back when his parents were still alive. Hey, what are you thinking about? As Gu Chufeng was lost in thought, a voice interrupted him. He looked over at the source of the voice. Nothing, just thinking about some past things. It's okay, just eat whatever you want. I'll make it for you. Upon hearing this, Huang Ziki smiled. You're so capable, you can make anything. Well, I try. For 8 years, Gu Chufeng had been Su Qiaoxue's secretary and her butler. Whenever she had a problem, it was always Gu Chufeng who solved it. Since her stomach was weak, Gu Chufeng started learning to cook, and over the years, his cooking skills had improved significantly. Alright, now I'm really looking forward to it. No problem. After buying the ingredients, Gu Chufeng also picked up a few things he needed for his daily life. It took almost an hour to finish. The two of them headed to the front counter, ready to pay, when Huang Ziki took out her phone. Since you're cooking, I have to pay for this. Otherwise, I'd feel too guilty about this meal. The total was 1,086 yuan. To them, this amount of money was like pocket change, just as $1 would be to an ordinary person. Since Huang Ziki had already paid, Gu Chufeng didn't argue. Each of them carried a large bag and returned to their house. Surprisingly, Huang Ziki's dog was well behaved, just staying on the couch without moving. I'll go wash the vegetables for you. As the saying goes, men and women working together, it's never tiring. So, Huang Ziki offered to help, mainly because it gave them more time together to chat. Your dog is really well behaved. In the kitchen, Gu Chufeng and Huang Ziki were working and chatting. At first, it wasn't this obedient. But after I hired a professional dog trainer, it started listening. I'm telling you, my dog can even do a backflip. Upon hearing this, Gu Chufeng's mind wandered, and a small smile appeared on his lips. What are you laughing at? I'm serious. It's nothing, just reminded me of how some scumbags trick young girls with that kind of excuse. Huang Ziki rolled her eyes and waved her hand. Egg, come here. The dog was named Egg because Huang Ziki loved to eat century eggs. Come on, show Uncle Gu a backflip. At that moment, Gu Chufeng got curious. He turned his head to watch. Boom. The dog really was clever. At its owner's command, it immediately performed a backflip. How was that? Impressive, right? Come on, tell me, have you used this excuse to fool girls before? Actually, no. But, Mr. Wang, if you ever need it, you can lend me this dog. If I can impress girls, it'll be thanks to your dog. Stop calling me Mr. Wang, call me Ziki. Wang Ziki glared at Gu Chufeng, but even though she looked fierce, it didn't come off as scary. Instead, it was rather cute. Alright, Ziki. Seeing how obedient Gu Chufeng was, Wang Ziki couldn't help but smile. But would she lend her dog to help Gu Chufeng with his love life? Not a chance. Even if Gu Chufeng did get a girlfriend, it would only be with her. Gu Chufeng focused on cooking, something he had always enjoyed. Cooking allowed him to clear his mind and not think about anything. It was a feeling that helped him relax. By the way, since you're not going to any company, what are you planning to do next? Gu Chufeng thought for a moment before answering. I'll rest for a while, maybe research more recipes. If I get really bored, I'll find a job as a security guard. A security guard? Wang Ziki looked at him, surprised. She thought, with his looks, if Gu Chufeng really became a security guard, the single women in the neighborhood would probably start targeting him. After all, he was just too handsome. Ziki, help me taste this. Sure. Wang Ziki tried it, and the taste was indeed quite good. Of course, it couldn't compare to top chefs in the country, but it was still flavorful and appealing. If he opened a small restaurant, it would definitely be popular. Wow, it's really delicious. See, try it. Wang Ziki picked up a piece with her chopsticks and held it near Gu Chufeng's mouth. He glanced at the chopsticks, realizing it was the same pair Wang Ziki had used earlier. If he ate from them, it would be like an indirect kiss. Don't worry, I don't mind. Well, actually, I mind you. Although she said this, Gu Chufeng still ate it. Perhaps it was the smell of the food that lured him, because Egg, the dog, also came running over. He smells the food. Little greedy dog. Gu Chufeng looked at Egg, then threw a piece of meat on the floor. The dog immediately ate it. Chufeng, can I ask you for a favor? What is it? Just to let you know, if it's about me going back to the company, I'm not going. Although he had severed ties with Su Qiaoxue now, in the early years, she had treated him quite well. So he was not willing to join a company of the same type and compete with Su Qiaoxue's company. How could it be? If you don't want to, I won't force you. I was thinking about you cooking for me every day. I'll give you money, and you can name your price. Wang Ziki said what she thought in her heart. There was no way. Although she liked the other party, if she really wanted to be together successfully, she had to increase the time she spent together. So if Gu Chufeng really agreed, they would have at least one meeting a day. No money, anyway, I'm bored at home, I can cook for myself, and I can cook for two people, as long as you don't get tired of it. Hearing this, Wang Ziki shook his head frantically. Don't worry, I won't get tired of it. In about an hour, their meals were ready. There were 5 dishes in total. Wang Ziki helped to bring them to the table. By the way, hasn't the secretary delivered the key yet? It has been delivered. I asked them to put it on the table at the door. People who live here are either rich or noble, and the security guards in the community are all veterans, so even if the key is placed there, it is safe enough. Okay. Yes, let's eat quickly. The two of them started to eat heartily. Just at this time, Gu Chufeng's cell phone rang. When he saw the call, Gu Chufeng frowned. Uncle Chen. The housekeeper in Su Qiaoxue's house. Huh. Gu Chufeng took a deep breath and answered the phone. Hello, Uncle Chen. Mr. Gu, the young lady drank too much today and has a stomachache. Do you know where the stomach medicine is? Hearing this, Gu Chufeng frowned. The third cabinet from the top to the bottom of the bedside table on the right side of the bedroom. Su Qiaoxue naturally didn't pay attention to such things. Every time, Gu Chufeng took the initiative to put things with her when she needed them. Okay, Mr. Gu, I found it, but the young lady is a little uncomfortable now. So, do you want to come and take care of the young lady? Take care? If it was before, he would agree to do anything. But during those days in the ICU, he figured out too many things. Uncle Chen, there are so many nannies at home, I won't go, and I've also resigned. I don't have much to do with Mr. Su. So, if possible, it's best not to contact me in the future. When Huang Ziki heard this, a gleam of light appeared in her eyes. At this moment, she suddenly had an idea in her mind. Chufeng, do you want to eat this? The voice was not loud. But the other party could definitely hear it. Sure, just put it in my bowl. Okay. Huang Ziki put a piece of fish in Gu Chufeng's bowl, looking like a successful scheme. Uncle Chen, if there's nothing else, I'll hang up first. Oh, okay. After hanging up the phone, Gu Chufeng looked at Huang Ziki. He knew all about Huang Ziki's little trick just now. But he didn't say much. On the other side, inside Su Qiaoxue's villa, Uncle Chen stood in the living room, sweating profusely. Su Qiaoxue sat on the sofa in front of him, her expression as dark as the bottom of a pot. She asked Uncle Chen to make the call just now. His original intention was to let Gu Chufeng come back and give him a way out. After all, Xia Shahan's words did have some effect. She also believed that Gu Chufeng was so smart that he should know that this was a way out she gave him, but he didn't answer it. And that woman's voice. Huang Ziki, it's really her. Damn, how could they be together? Su Qiaoxue clenched her fists. Chufeng, you call me so affectionately. Even eating together. At this time, Su Qiaoxue was thinking, when did Gu Chufeng and Huang Ziki have such a good relationship? In the past or today? Miss, what do you think about this matter? Let Chen Bei come over. Yes. Gu Chufeng and Chen Bei were positioned differently in Su Qiaoxue's heart. She knew that Gu Chufeng loved her and was capable. Whether in bed or in the company, he could always help her just right. But he didn't speak as sweetly as Chen Bei. Plus, after so many years, she was a little tired of Gu Chufeng. At that time, Chen Bei appeared in front of her. Weak, simple, and sweet. Therefore, she brought Chen Bei with her, but she never wanted Gu Chufeng to leave. She hoped that Gu Chufeng would be smarter and appear in front of her when she needed him, and disappear when she didn't need him, or do what she should do. But after Chen Bei appeared, Gu Chufeng questioned Su Qiaoxue several times, which made her feel uncomfortable. In her heart, Su Qiaoxue had always been a lover, but she crossed the boundaries of a lover, so she acquiesced that Chen Bei targeted Gu Chufeng, just to make Gu Chufeng recognize his position. But she didn't expect that Gu Chufeng would resign directly, which was a bit unexpected for her. Su Qiaoxue didn't know that if you love someone, you won't be willing to share with others. Gu Chufeng, without you, I will have someone else. Just as Xia Shahan said, Su Qiaoxue is a proud person. This kind of pride makes her never bow her head. Even if she thinks it is wrong to do so, she will not bow her head. So at this time, she chose to call Chen Bei over. I am afraid this is also to prove something to Gu Chufeng. Before calling, the housekeeper glanced at Su Qiaoxue. As a bystander, he knew that now, one of the young lady and Gu Chufeng must bow his head. If they just want to prove something and confront each other, I am afraid they will be completely finished. If someone bows his head at this time, things can still turn around. But, alas, the housekeeper knew his identity and could only make the call obediently. Hello, Mr. Chen. President Su asked you to come here. Okay, I will arrange a car for you. After hanging up the phone, the housekeeper stood there, waiting for her instructions. Dividing line. Then I'll come to you tomorrow morning for dinner. Okay. At this time, Gu Chufeng and his friends had finished their meal. Gu Chufeng sent Huang Ziki to the door. After watching Huang Ziki enter the house, he turned back. Gu Chufeng walked into their house, sat on the sofa, and started playing with his mobile phone. As soon as he started playing with his mobile phone, there was a knock at the door. Hearing this voice, Gu Chufeng frowned. Who is it? As he asked, Gu Chufeng opened the door. It was Huang Ziki. Ziki, what's wrong? Hearing this, Huang Ziki's face was full of helplessness. There's a power outage in our house. Just now the property management said that the circuit was burned out and they can only come to repair it tomorrow. It's summer now, it's so hot, there's no air conditioning. So, can I stay at your place for one night? Is it such a coincidence? Gu Chufeng looked at Wang Ziki. Do you hate Wang Ziki? Really not. Especially after today's contact, he felt that she was very interesting, with a kind of cute contrast. Well, okay. But are you ready for your clothes? Gu Chufeng asked. Ready. Yes, look. Wang Ziki pointed to the bag in her hand, which contained pajamas and toiletries. Gu Chufeng leaned aside to make room. Then Wang Ziki walked in with the dog. Because the area is here, there are still many rooms in Gu Chufeng's house. He brought Wang Ziki to this room, then took out the quilt and spread it on the bed. Is this okay? Yes. Wang Ziki lay on the bed and stretched. So comfortable. This stretch showed Wang Ziki's curvy figure to the fullest. Although he tried his best not to look at it, it was the nature of men here, and he would always subconsciously take a few glances. There's a bathroom outside, you can take a shower. Okay, I'll go first. Wang Ziki was holding her pajamas and was about to go out when she suddenly thought of something. Don't peek. If she didn't say it, maybe Gu Chufeng wouldn't really think of it. But once she said it, she had some wild thoughts. Close the bathroom door. Thinking of Gu Chufeng's desire to see but restrained his behavior just now, Wang Ziki was satisfied. Little guy, sister won't fascinate you. Be good and enter sister's household registration book. Chapter 4 Gu Chufeng, have you had enough trouble? When Wang Ziki came out of the bathroom, Gu Chufeng was slightly stunned. The reason was simple. Wang Ziki was particularly charming at this time. Her hair was draped over her shoulders. She was not as shrewd and sharp as in the business world, but she looked like a girl next door. The pajamas were cool, and some skin could be vaguely seen. Coupled with her beauty that brought disaster to the country and the people, Gu Chufeng was actually a little stunned. At this time, Gu Chufeng suddenly realized something and coughed quickly. After all, staring at a girl all the time was a little impolite. Wang Ziki saw Gu Chufeng's reaction. Although he didn't react, he couldn't hide the happiness in his heart. Sitting on the sofa, the fragrance of Wang Ziki entered Gu Chufeng's nose, making him feel distracted. Gu Chufeng could only pick up his mobile phone to divert his attention. He opened the stocks software and looked at the stocks he invested in. What are you doing? At this time, Wang Ziki was sitting next to Gu Chufeng. She had to strike while the iron was hot and take Gu Chufeng down as soon as possible, otherwise, others would start. Look at the stock market. Chunan tilted the phone so that Wang Ziki could see the content on the screen. Hearing this, Wang Ziki nodded. K currency? You have a good eye. I actually bought virtual currency 2 years ago. Now this virtual currency should have increased a lot. Wang Ziki has so much money in the investment industry. Although she does not participate in stocks, she has heard a little about this kind of stock that has increased so much in 2 years. Moreover, this increase has been on the hot search some time ago. Many people on the internet are investing. It is estimated that it may continue to rise, and it may reach a record increase. It has increased 423 times compared to when I bought it. 2 years ago, this stock was just issued not long ago, and Gu Chufeng spent 10 million to buy the stock. Then how much did you spend? Wang Ziki asked. 10 million. Hearing this, Wang Ziki nodded. If this is the case, then this time the stock can bring Gu Chufeng more than 4 billion in income. No wonder he is unwilling to go to work. No matter how hard he works, it is impossible to have a salary of more than 4 billion in 2 years. Of course, Wang Ziki was just a little surprised. As a top rich woman in the financial industry, she knew that it was not easy for such stocks to appear once in decades. I'm thinking about something. Gu Chufeng looked at Wang Ziki, and after hearing this, Wang Ziki thought for a while and said, This stock. Well, Ziki, please help me with some advice. I want to sell it and leave nothing behind. Quit when you are ahead. This is Gu Chufeng's way to be successful in the stock market. If you are greedy, you may lose everything. After all, compared with those financial giants, larger retail investors like Gu Chufeng are nothing. Therefore, he wants to quit now. Especially recently, there have been too many discussions about this stock online, and everyone even thinks that this stock will continue to rise. This atmosphere makes Gu Chufeng have a vague sense of foreboding. He feels that this is like cutting leaks. Although there is no evidence, this feeling has saved Gu Chufeng many times, so he thinks he should trust his intuition. Do you think the market has too much confidence in this stock recently? Hearing this, Gu Chufeng nodded. Yes, this is not in line with common sense. If I were you, I would also choose to sell it at this time. After all, 10 million becomes 4.23 billion, minus the money for tax, it is almost close to 3 billion. People. Don't be greedy. Hearing this, Gu Chufeng nodded. He looked at the time. There was less than an hour left before closing today's sales channel, so he sold all of them without any hesitation. Now all the retail investors on the internet want to buy stocks, so when Gu Chufeng's stocks are sold, they are snatched up by those retail investors in an instant. But if you sell now and the price continues to rise, will you regret it? Hearing this, Gu Chufeng shook his head. Ziki, you are also a leader in the financial industry. What's the difference between 3 billion and 30 billion for a person? 3 billion, an ordinary person will never spend it in a lifetime. 30 billion, the same is true. Even the quality of life will not be any different. In this case, then stop while you are ahead. There is no difference. I think so too. Be courageous. Able to resist temptation. At this time, Wang Ziki felt that Gu Chufeng was more charming. Dividing line. Late at night. Gu Chufeng was lying on his bed. He was browsing his circle of friends, and at this time, a circle of friends attracted Gu Chufeng's attention. It was Chen Bei's circle of friends. He looked at the content of Chen Bei's circle of friends, his face was calm. The content was very simple, one sentence and one picture. The words were a beautiful day should have a beautiful ending. The picture below was Chen Bei's hand wearing a ring. Chen Bei was very thoughtful. The person in the photo had a reflection in the glass. Although it was a little blurry, anyone who had seen Su Qiaoxue could recognize her. This can be regarded as an alternative official announcement. Gu Chufeng thought in his heart. Gu Chufeng was very familiar with this ring. He bought it for himself and Su Qiaoxue, but after buying it, Su Qiaoxue never wore it. The reason was very simple. She didn't want people in the company to know about their relationship. But now, she agreed to Chen Bei's official announcement. The gap between love and not love is too big. What others can get easily is what he couldn't get before. Thinking of this, Gu Chufeng shook his head. Forget it, why think about it, she goes her way, I go mine. I paid her back when I was in the ICU, on the verge of death. Gu Chufeng exited the circle of friends and stopped reading these contents, while Su Qiaoxue on the other side was on the phone with Xie Shahan. If I remember correctly, this ring should be the first gift Gu Chufeng gave you. You gave it directly to Chen Bei. And you tacitly agreed to Chen Bei's alternative official announcement. Xie Shahan's tone was a little surprised. She didn't understand what happened to her best friend. How good was Chen Bei that he could make Su Qiaoxue so fascinated? He looked ordinary and even had some scheming, a green tea. It's just a ring. And it's not worth much. If he likes it, I'll give it to him. Su Qiaoxue's tone was ordinary, as if she didn't take this matter to heart at all, but now she was thinking about how Gu Chufeng would feel when he saw this circle of friends, whether he would take the initiative to contact her, and if he took the initiative to contact her, should she say a few words to him, and then mercifully let him come back? You. Such a shrewd person in the business world, but now he is so unclear. Okay, no more. I'm going to sleep. Let them solve the emotional affairs by themselves. Xie Shahan doesn't want to participate. When she was in the KTV, she had already made it very clear. Su Qiaoxue didn't want to bow her head, and Gu Chufeng didn't want to bow his head either, which only proved that the two of them had no fate. And now there is Wang Ziki eyeing her. Although she is Su Qiaoxue's best friend, Xie Shahan also knows that Wang Ziki is a girl who is comparable to Su Qiaoxue. In some aspects, Wang Ziki is even better than Su Qiaoxue. If such a woman pursues a boy, I am afraid that the boy will not be able to hold on for many days. So, Xie Shahan thinks that Su Qiaoxue will regret it in the future. After hanging up the phone, Su Qiaoxue looked at her phone. There is still no news about Gu Chufeng. It seems that he has disappeared in her life. Su Qiaoxue doesn't know what happened to her. She always thinks of Gu Chufeng inexplicably in her heart. When she first joined the company, Gu Chufeng always made many mistakes because he was not familiar with it. Every time he admitted his mistakes timidly, for fear that Su Qiaoxue would not want him. It turned out that so many years have passed in the blink of an eye without her realizing it. The boy who apologized timidly back then has now grown into a man who can stand on his own. She came to the balcony, lowered her head, and looked at the cars coming and going outside, the lights and the nightlife. This city is really big. It is so big that if one person does not take the initiative, the two people will never meet again. In the past, Su Qiaoxue felt that she seemed to be able to see Gu Chufeng every moment, but now, such a long time has passed, there is no news, no meeting. From 8 years ago to now, this should be the first time. She pushed open the door of the bedroom. This bedroom used to belong to her and Gu Chufeng. Many things in it were decorated by Gu Chufeng. At that time, she felt that it was meaningless, but since Gu Chufeng liked it, she followed Gu Chufeng. But now looking at it again, it is very warm, but it is full of Gu Chufeng's breath. When he left this time, Gu Chufeng only took his clothes and daily necessities. He didn't take anything else. Is this to cut off from herself? Su Qiaoxue sat on the bed, looking at her mobile phone. She hesitated for a moment and called Gu Chufeng. Finally, she couldn't help it. When Gu Chufeng saw Su Qiaoxue's phone call, he was a little surprised, but after a moment of hesitation, he answered the phone. Hello. The voice was cold and ruthless, without any emotion. It was very different from the loving voice before. Come to my house and take away your garbage. She obviously wanted to hear his voice and wanted him to come back. But Su Qiaoxue didn't know why she would say such a thing. Maybe she is really not good at giving in. Garbage? Gu Chufeng knew that she was talking about the things she didn't take away. Mr. Su, these things have nothing to do with me. You can do whatever you want. Those things, like Su Qiaoxue, have nothing to do with Gu Chufeng now. Hearing this, Su Qiaoxue clenched his fists. Gu Chufeng, have you made enough trouble? Hasn't made enough trouble? Are you really making trouble? But he, Gu Chufeng, really wants to leave. Even if nothing really happened between Su Qiaoxue and Chen Bei, he wanted to leave. Entering the ICU, what he said to his bestie. He, Gu Chufeng, is not shameless. He also has dignity. Mr. Su, just throw away some worthless garbage. As for the expenses, I don't think my salary for this month has been paid yet, so just take the salary as expenses. After saying this, Gu Chufeng hung up the phone directly. This was the first time he hung up Su Qiaoxue's phone. Su Qiaoxue looked at her hung up phone, and there was a moment of absent-mindedness in her eyes. When she came back to consciousness, she threw away the phone in an instant. She had already lowered her head. She had already taken the initiative to call. What exactly did Gu Chufeng want to do? Yes, in her eyes, she was lowering her head. It was like opening a dog hole for Gu Chufeng to get in. But he didn't want to be Su Qiaoxue's dog anymore. Su Qiaoxue looked at the room, and a nameless anger arose in her heart. She threw the things on the ground one by one. Perhaps, he wanted to destroy everything that Gu Chufeng had living here. Dividing line. The next morning, Gu Chufeng woke up at 6 o'clock. However, no matter how late he went to bed the day before, he always woke up at 6 o'clock. This can be regarded as a biological clock. He took out his mobile phone. Are you awake? Gu Chufeng sent a message to Huang Ziki. No reply. Probably not awake. Gu Chufeng got up, brushed his teeth, washed his face, and washed his hair. Then he changed his clothes and went out for a run. It was also Gu Chufeng's habit to get up and run for an hour every morning. He didn't like running on the treadmill, but liked running in the park. At this time, there was no one in the park except some uncles and aunts doing morning exercises. Running can make Gu Chufeng get involved. Not thinking about work and life can make him absolutely relax. An hour later, Gu Chufeng returned home. He was now all over, and then he went into the bathroom, took a shower, and came out. At this time, Gu Chufeng's cell phone rang. Just woke up. Why did you get up so early? You didn't fall asleep because I was here yesterday, did you? Huang Ziki had two shy expressions on her face. Looking at these two shy expressions, Gu Chufeng's mouth corners slightly raised. It's mainly because I feel that a slut will come into my room, and I'm not ready. Is it anticipation or fear? Guess. Huang Ziki looked at the message, and her face turned red, like a cooked crab. Are you up? Yes. Gu Chufeng replied, and soon after, there was a sound of footsteps outside. Good morning. Huang Ziki, who had just woken up, didn't put on makeup, but even without makeup, she was already breathtakingly beautiful. Good morning. What do you want to eat? I'll make it for you. Gu Chufeng looked at Huang Ziki and asked. For Huang Ziki, it was a very happy thing to see Gu Chufeng every morning. Anything is fine, I'm not picky. Then I'll make noodles, tomato noodles. Okay, I'll help you. The two entered the kitchen. It didn't take too long to make the tomato noodles, just a dozen minutes. Served it to the table. Don't eat it in a hurry. I'll post it to Moments first. Huang Ziki felt that she had to show off, so when she took the photo, she took 2 bowls of noodles, and Gu Chufeng's fingers also appeared in the photo. Then she posted it to Moments. Chapter 5 Tips for Su Qiaoxue, can it be given to her? But not to me. Although Huang Ziki and Su Qiaoxue don't get along, they are in the same circle after all, and they spend a lot of time interacting with each other, so they still have each other's contact information. At this time, Su Qiaoxue was in the living room, with a gloomy expression on her face. Why is it so salty? Su Qiaoxue's photo, several people were shivering, their food was not salty at all. How could the boss say so? In fact, these people knew in their hearts that it was not that the rice was salty, but that the person who cooked was not the same person. If it was Gu Chufeng who cooked, the chairman would definitely not say so, but they could only think about it in their hearts and dare not say it out loud. Miss, we will do it again immediately. Hearing this, Su Qiaoxue sighed. She found that since Gu Chufeng submitted his resignation, her mood has been bad, and her temper is irritable and explosive. No need. I'll just eat it like this. After saying this, Su Qiaoxue started to eat. Although the taste was not bad, she just felt that it was not as good as Gu Chufeng's. Gu Chufeng's food was always just right, which made her like it very much. But although these chefs were professional, the food they made was always not to her taste. She took out her mobile phone and browsed the Moments. When she saw the Moments posted by Huang Ziki, she frowned. Although the face did not appear in the photo. But she knew that the person who did this must be Gu Chufeng. And that finger. It was also Gu Chufeng's finger. She was too familiar with this finger. At this time, Su Qiaoxue looked at the time when the Moments were posted, 7:40. Did they live together yesterday? Su Qiaoxue clenched her fists. A man and a woman lived in a room for a night. If nothing happened, it seemed that no one would believe it. No more eating. Hearing this, the housekeeper was stunned. Chairman, I'll ask the chef to make it again. No need. After saying this, Su Qiaoxue left the villa directly. Looking at Su Qiaoxue's back as she left, the housekeeper sighed. She could only ask someone to quickly clean up the things. At this time, Huang Ziki and Gu Chufeng had finished their meal. I'll go wash the dishes. You've worked hard today. Huang Ziki looked at Gu Chufeng, her tone full of seriousness. Then what reward are you going to give me? Hearing this, Huang Ziki thought about it seriously. How about giving yourself to me? Huang Ziki's eyes sparkled. Reward Gu Chufeng. Reward Huang Ziki. Good fellow, if the people in your company knew that their beautiful CEO followed me, they would be heartbroken. Listening to Gu Chufeng's ridicule, Huang Ziki smiled. How could that be? Then it's settled. I'll pledge my love to you. Brother tilde husband tilde. Maybe people who deal in finance are just thick-skinned. At least Huang Ziki is like that. Perhaps because she was afraid that Gu Chufeng would regret it, Huang Ziki took the bowl and chopsticks and went into the kitchen. Looking at Huang Ziki's back, Gu Chufeng thought for a while. It seems that this is also a normal life now. Gu Chufeng is very good. But when facing Huang Ziki, he feels a little inferior in his heart. He is not stupid. After this day, he also knows Huang Ziki's thoughts. But he was Su Qiaoxue's lover after all. No matter how successful he is, this identity will never change. And the identity of a lover can never be seen in public. Ziki. Gu Chufeng came out of the kitchen. Huh? What's wrong? Wang Ziki looked back. I know what you're thinking. But you know about my past with Su Qiaoxue. So I don't think you need to treat me like this. A jerk like me. Wang Ziki paused. Why do you think you're a jerk? It's just because you're a lover, but Su Qiaoxue isn't married, and you're not the third party who ruins someone else's relationship, so I don't think this so-called experience should be called a lover, but a relationship. So since it's a relationship, it seems normal for a 26-year-old adult male to have a relationship, right? Wang Ziki looked at Gu Chufeng, his eyes full of seriousness. So, if you look at it that way, you're very loyal. By the way, you're so good at changing the concept. Gu Chufeng was amused by Wang Ziki's words. It's not a substitution, it's just the truth. Chufeng, we've fought many times. I think you should know something about my personality. I only do what I like. I don't care if others point fingers or oppose. Anyway, people only have a few decades in this life. Since there is no way to satisfy others, then I'll just make myself happy. Wang Ziki paused here and continued. So, don't say you're a bad person. I think you're the best boy in the world. Do you understand? At this time, Wang Ziki came to Gu Chufeng. The two were very close. It seemed like they were about to kiss. So, next time, even if you reject me, you have to use the reason that we are not suitable. Don't say you're a bad person. Do you understand? Gu Chufeng looked at Wang Ziki in front of him. The girl's eyes were full of sincerity. Thank you. This thank you is sincere. At least, Wang Ziki told Gu Chufeng that he didn't need to feel inferior. Silly. Otherwise, since it's all said and done, I don't need to think of a reason. Well, starting today, I'll move in. After all, if I want to pursue you, I should always have some time to spend together. At this time, Wang Ziki changed his mind. Since it's all said and done, then why bother looking for a reason? Just move in. How about it, is it okay? Wang Ziki looked at Gu Chufeng and asked. Thinking of this, Gu Chufeng nodded. Okay. Since he had decided to say goodbye to the past, maybe it's not bad to try a new relationship. Because he had to go to work today, Wang Ziki left here at 8 o'clock. And Pai Dan stayed with Gu Chufeng. Anyway, Gu Chufeng was alone at home, and it was nice to have a dog to accompany him. Just at this moment, there was a knock at the door. At this moment, Gu Chufeng thought Wang Ziki had forgotten to take something. I forgot to take something. When he opened the door, Gu Chufeng was slightly stunned. Su Qiaoxue. Why is she here? Boss Su, why are you here? Su Qiaoxue looked at Gu Chufeng in front of her, and her mind was filled with the scene of him and Wang Ziki together last night, which made her crazy. Why, I can't come. What are you afraid of seeing? For example, Wang Ziki. Hearing this, Gu Chufeng frowned. I was wondering why you resigned. So you found a new person. Humiliation. This is humiliation. She looked at Gu Chufeng with cold eyes. Why, you've been a lover with me for too long, so you go to Wang Ziki's place to be a lover. When you've stayed with Wang Ziki enough, are you going to find a 60-year-old rich woman? Su Qiaoxue's tone was full of yin and yang. At this time, she also noticed the dog next to her. This dog appeared many times in Wang Ziki's circle of friends. So Su Qiaoxue naturally knew that this was her dog. The dog is here with you. It seems that you two are living together. HMPH, great. So popular, if I had known, should I have received some money from Wang Ziki? After all, it was me who trained you so well. Su Qiaoxue blurted it out. Boss Su, are you done? Why, do you think I said something wrong? Before I resigned yesterday, Boss Wang and I had no personal contact. If I said something wrong about this, I can die. Su Qiaoxue was furious when she heard the word resignation. She came to Gu Chufeng and kissed him directly. But Gu Chufeng dodged her. Mr. Su, please respect yourself. Respect yourself. Why didn't you let me respect myself before? Why, Wang Ziki made you feel very comfortable yesterday, better than me. Anyway, you are just a lover, and it's the same as her. Isn't it okay if you just don't tell her? After saying this, Su Qiaoxue threw out a bank card. There is 1 million in it. Just consider it as a tip this time. Humiliation. Naked humiliation. Not enough? Then I will continue. Snap. At this time, Gu Chufeng finally couldn't help it. He slapped Su Qiaoxue. Su Qiaoxue looked at Gu Chufeng and touched her face that had just been slapped. Mr. Su, I think you've gone too far. In the past, you were kind to me. But I've dedicated 8 years to the company. I've brought the company 100 billion, if not 200 billion. And in the ICU, I've been through the gates of hell for you, so I've repaid the kindness I've shown you in the past. Now, I just want to be clean with you and have nothing to do with you, so let's part ways amicably and leave each other with the last bit of dignity. Gu Chufeng looked at Su Qiaoxue in front of him, his tone was cold. This was the first time Su Qiaoxue had seen Gu Chufeng in this state. Clear. Nothing to do with you. Part ways amicably. She had never thought that such words would come from Gu Chufeng. Yes. Gu Chufeng was right. She had brought him here in the first place. He also spent 8 years repaying him. If it weren't for him, the company wouldn't be as big as it is now. So, what did he owe her? Gu Chufeng, you should know that no one dares to hit me. You are the first one. After saying this, Su Qiaoxue turned and left. Looking at Su Qiaoxue's back as she left, Gu Chufeng sighed. I thought the two of them could end decently and never see each other again, but I didn't expect that the way it ended would be so undignified. Su Qiaoxue sat in the car after leaving, her eyes were cold. At this time, she sent a message. Old place, I'll treat you to a drink today. She shouted in her girlfriend's group. Fuck, what's going on? Don't you dislike drinking? I have to go here. Come on. Su Qiaoxue was depressed. Soon, she drove to the KTV. The girlfriends were all here. Qiaoxue, what's going on? Why do you suddenly want to drink? Chen Qian looked at Su Qiaoxue, her tone full of confusion. It's okay, I just want to drink. Su Qiaoxue said this, picked up the wine glass in front of her and drank it all. She just finished drinking, and poured another glass and continued to drink. Seeing this situation, everyone knew something was wrong. Xia Shahan stopped Su Qiaoxue directly. If you drink like this, you will be admitted to the hospital. Even if something happens, you can't torture yourself. At this time, Xia Shahan thought that Gu Chufeng might have done something. Could it be Huang Ziqi's circle of friends? But a circle of friends would not have this power anyway, so what happened in the middle that she didn't know about? It's okay, I know. You all drink. Hearing this, what else could Xia Shahan say? No one could persuade Su Qiaoxue at this time, only Gu Chufeng. She came outside and found Gu Chufeng's phone. Dial it. At this time, Gu Chufeng was playing with Pai Dan. When the phone rang, he picked up his phone. Xia Shahan. After all, he had been with Su Qiaoxue for so many years, and Gu Chufeng knew all of her best friends. After resigning, Gu Chufeng didn't want to have any contact with Su Qiaoxue's circle, but after all, he called, and in the past, the other party was quite caring for him. It would be inappropriate not to answer the call, and most importantly, Gu Chufeng and Xia Shahan had no conflicts. Answer the call. Hello, Miss Xia. Where are you? Home. Gu Chufeng said so. Qiaoxue keeps drinking for herself now. If she continues to drink like this, something bad will happen, so can you come over? Hearing this, Gu Chufeng frowned. Miss Xia, I have no relationship with Miss Su anymore, and I have something else to do now. This is a rejection. Gu Chufeng really doesn't want to have anything to do with Su Qiaoxue. That's it. She has a problem with Chen Bei's matter, but for the sake of our past relationship, can you sit down and have a good talk? After all, I think you had real feelings for her at the beginning. Ms. Xia, if I didn't have real feelings at the beginning, I wouldn't resign. Call Chen Bei, he will solve it. After saying this, Gu Chufeng hung up the phone directly. Xia Shahan looked at the hung up phone and sighed. Why bother? At this time, Xia Shahan had no choice but to go into the box. At this time, Su Qiaoxue was still drinking, one glass after another, as if she wanted to drink all the wine in her life. Xia Shahan was the core figure of their girlfriends' group. Everyone looked at Xia Shahan, asking what to do next. Drink it. Maybe after drinking, she won't be unhappy anymore. Xia Shahan could only say so. Getting drunk is a way to get rid of reality. While drinking, Su Qiaoxue kept repeating the slap that Gu Chufeng slapped her in her mind. She didn't expect that Gu Chufeng actually did it. This was the first time. This slap made her understand everything. The man in front of her really didn't care about her anymore. Why? Just because of Chen Bei. This made her feel uncomfortable. The most uncomfortable thing was that she felt that Gu Chufeng was getting farther and farther away from her. And it seemed that he would never come back to her. Chapter 6. Chen Bei called, Qiaoxue, I got into trouble. It was still the KTV. The bestie looked at Su Qiaoxue drinking one glass after another, her face full of surprise. They were called here, and they didn't know what happened. Looking at the slap mark on Su Qiaoxue's face, everyone knew that something must have happened. Enough. At this time, Xie Shihan stood up and directly snatched the wine glass from Su Qiaoxue's hand. Do you want to drink yourself to death? Xie Shihan's tone was full of dissatisfaction. I want to get myself drunk, what's wrong? Don't I even have this right now? Su Qiaoxue looked at Xie Shihan, her tone full of anger, as if she was venting her dissatisfaction. You have to at least tell me what happened. Hearing this, Su Qiaoxue snorted coldly. Gu Chufeng and Huang Ziki live together. Humph, isn't that ridiculous? A secretary who has been with me for so long, I brought him here, I gave him the life he has now, but what? But he actually lives with my mortal enemy. Why? Why is this? What? Everyone was a little surprised when they heard this. Gu Chufeng, Huang Ziki, the two of them live together. How could this be? Everyone looked at each other, no one knew what they should say. This slap was. Gu Chufeng hit me, how should I say it, it's what I deserved, I forgot, he is a very dignified person. When they first met, Su Qiaoxue took Gu Chufeng's hand. Tell him that sister will support you in the future. At that time, Gu Chufeng only said one sentence. Sister, I will prove that I can bring value to you. I am not your simple lover. Gu Chufeng was still a child at that time, his voice was full of childishness, but his tone was firm. Looking at this, Su Qiaoxue only thought that this child was cute. Later, Gu Chufeng really proved that he could bring value to himself. But now they have become like this. Su Qiaoxue really regretted it at this time. She felt that she should not say such words, picked up the bottle in front of her, and drank it directly. Now I should be the person he hates the most. Su Qiaoxue thought in her heart. I will drink with you. What can I do? When Su Qiaoxue brought Chen Bei here for the first time, Xie Shihan talked to her and felt that Gu Chufeng would be unhappy if she did so, but at that time, she just said that Gu Chufeng was her lover and she was tired of him, so she wanted to find a college student again. Then when she resigned, Xie Shihan also told her to contact Gu Chufeng and have a good chat with him instead of quarreling, but she still didn't listen. Now, nothing can be changed. Gu Chufeng is no longer the same as before. In fact, Xie Shihan and other girlfriends don't understand why Su Qiaoxue is unwilling to give Gu Chufeng a boyfriend. In their opinion, Gu Chufeng is really good, capable at work, and can take care of Su Qiaoxue in every possible way in life. Who doesn't envy such a boy? There is a saying in ancient times, you don't know how lucky you are when you are blessed. Many times, only when you lose something, you will know how precious it is. But what's the use of knowing it after you lose it? This person will never belong to you again. However, Xie Shihan didn't expect Huang Ziki to act so quickly. They actually lived together the next day. If it takes longer, I'm afraid Huang Ziki will get pregnant. At this time, Xie Shihan felt that Su Qiaoxue was really not as good as Huang Ziki in terms of feelings. She didn't believe that Huang Ziki didn't know that Gu Chufeng was Su Qiaoxue's lover before, but in the end she didn't care and just pursued him directly without any hesitation. And at this time, Su Qiaoxue's mobile phone rang. It was Chen Bei. Su Qiaoxue answered the call. Hello, Chairman. I'm sorry, I'm in trouble. After saying this, the person on the other end of the phone started crying. Because Su Qiaoxue turned on the hands-free, everyone around heard this voice. After hearing Chen Bei crying, everyone's expressions were speechless. A grown man, he only knows how to cry. Every time he came here, he leaned behind Su Qiaoxue. Looked like a dog. Even if he said a word, he trembled. If you make a joke, this person will cry directly. Everyone doesn't understand, what's so good about this person? Su Qiaoxue actually pays so much attention to him. You know, Gu Chufeng followed Su Qiaoxue for about half a year before she brought him here. But when he first came here, Gu Chufeng behaved generously, attentive and gentle, while Chen Bei. He was brought here on the first day. Therefore, these girlfriends all think that Chen Bei is not even 1/10,000th as good as Gu Chufeng. But there is no way, who made Su Qiaoxue like him so much? What happened? It's like this: I made a mistake in the decimal point on the contract, and then the other party, Mr. Wang, said something to me, and then I started to curse him. Hearing this, the people around him were even more speechless. The decimal point was wrong. Is this a problem of ability? This is forgetfulness. What the hell? It's your own fault, and you still have the face to cry? And you curse it with the client. What a stupid person. Outrageous. Give the phone to the person next to you. Okay. After saying this, Chen Bei handed the phone over. At this time, Chen Bei's eyes were full of pride. You just scolded me. Today I will make you get out of this company. Chairman, Wang Dong is very angry about this matter now. He thinks that we don't respect each other, so they are likely to withdraw this cooperation. Hearing this, Su Qiaoxue frowned. Cancel the cooperation. It's up to them. Chairman, this cooperation has been going on for a long time. Okay, let's do it this way, cancel the cooperation. After hanging up the phone, the man's tone was helpless. What the hell? This chairman is crazy. Such a big thing, but it was cancelled because of Chen Bei? It's too outrageous. But there is no way. This company belongs to Su Qiaoxue. What can he, an employee, say? Seeing this scene, Chen Bei's face became even more proud. Now that Gu Chufeng has been taken away by himself, he is the person with the most power in this company except Su Qiaoxue. At this time, this person took out his mobile phone, found Gu Chufeng's chat interface, and sent a message. This person was also brought up by Gu Chufeng. Because Gu Chufeng is like an older brother in their hearts, they like to nag Gu Chufeng when they encounter problems at work or in life. Brother Gu, I really can't stand it. At this time, Gu Chufeng was playing with the dog at home. After hearing the sound of his mobile phone message, Gu Chufeng took out his mobile phone and read it. When he saw the content on it, Gu Chufeng frowned. This project should be the last project he was responsible for before leaving. This project is in the chemical industry. Originally, the company's main business was not in the chemical industry. However, the original investment areas are already saturated, and astronomical income can be obtained through these projects every year. But if you want to get more, you must expand the investment field. Therefore, he set his sights on this chemical company. This chemical company is pretty good, but recently it has been running out of funds because of a technology research. If it can supplement funds and research this technology, then this company will become the leader in the chemical industry, and the company will receive at least tens of billions of dividends every year. But I didn't expect that Su Qiaoxue would cancel it. Or was it because the other party blamed Chen Bei? At this time, Gu Chufeng thought of the first time he was in charge of a project. After all, it was the first time. Gu Chufeng asked if there was a problem, but the main problem was not with Gu Chufeng, but because there was a problem with the data provided by other departments. But that time, Gu Chufeng was scolded very badly. But with Chen Bei, there was a problem. The contract was returned, but there was no criticism. Is the gap so big? Gu Chufeng shook his head. But now, he doesn't want to care about these things. Has he left this company? If so, why worry about these? At this time, Gu Chufeng looked at the time. It's almost noon. Gu Chufeng came to the kitchen and looked at what dishes were left. Perhaps he thought of what Wang Ziki said when she left this morning, so he inexplicably opened the chat interface between himself and Wang Ziki. Are you coming back at noon today? Gu Chufeng sent a message to Wang Ziki. Wang Ziki replied immediately. Hey, do you miss me? If you miss me, just say it directly tilde. Perhaps because it was said, Wang Ziki didn't hide it anymore, and looked like she was just teasing you. Do you want me to miss you, or not? Wang Ziki looked at the message, and the corners of his mouth rose slightly. This guy even asked back. Of course I want you to miss me. But I don't know if someone misses me. Alas, but I miss someone today. Wang Ziki is a very direct person, so he said it directly. Then I'll just think of you reluctantly. I'll give you a chance to reorganize your words and say it again. After sending this message, Huang Ziki may have felt that it was not enough, so he posted an angry emoticon. I do. Hee, that's right, I'll go back at noon. Huang Ziki really missed Gu Chufeng. Although the company was still a little far from where he lived, it was not too far, so Huang Ziki said he would go back directly. Okay, then I'll cook. Are there any dishes you want to eat? Gu Chufeng took a picture of the things in the refrigerator and sent it over. Turn the camera around. Gu Chufeng didn't understand what the other party meant and asked. I want to see the dishes I like. The camera turned around. It was Gu Chufeng who was being filmed. Gu Chufeng was so smart that he understood it at once. But you can't eat this dish now. Gu Chufeng's mouth corners slightly raised. Then I have to work harder. I want to eat quickly. What do you want to eat for lunch? It's all right. I like whatever you cook. Okay, I'll just cook whatever you want. After sending the message, Huang Ziki sat in the boss chair with a slight smile on his face. Today is another day to chat with Gu Chufeng. Happy. At this time, the secretary opened the door and walked in. Chairman, do you have any plans for lunch today? Eat at the company. Hearing this, Huang Ziki shook his head. No, I'll go home. The secretary was a little surprised, because usually, unless there was a business dinner, Huang Ziki would eat at the company and then rest at the company. Why did he suddenly go home? Perhaps seeing the secretary's doubts, Huang Ziki smiled. Someone at home is cooking for me. The secretary looked at Huang Ziki. At this moment, Huang Ziki's face was full of happiness. At this moment, the secretary was stunned. Oh my God. The chairman is in love. How can this be so happy? Chapter 7 Royal Sister Huang Ziki, who said this A6 is old, this A6 is so good. After hanging up the phone call from the company, Su Qiaoxue continued to drink the wine in front of her. What else could the girlfriends next to her say? They could only accompany her to drink. Xia Shahan looked at Su Qiaoxue like this and sighed in her heart. I hope Qiaoxue won't regret this decision in the future. Looking at Su Qiaoxue like this, Xia Shahan felt that her idea was impossible. Others don't understand, but the two of them grew up together. Su Qiaoxue must have regretted it. Time passed by little by little. At this time, Su Qiaoxue's phone rang. When she saw the call, Su Qiaoxue frowned. It was her father. She answered the phone. Okay, I know. After saying this, Su Qiaoxue hung up the phone. What's wrong? Qiaoxue. Looking at Su Qiaoxue's dark face, Xia Shahan asked. My dad asked me to go home. Su Qiaoxue didn't have a good relationship with her father. Su Qiaoxue's father and mother started from scratch and established this company. After the company became successful, Su Qiaoxue's mother chose to return to the family and take care of Su Qiaoxue. However, she didn't expect that Su Qiaoxue's father was messing around outside. That day, the mistress came directly to their house to force Su Qiaoxue's mother, who was already in poor health, had a heart attack and died before the ambulance arrived. That year, Su Qiaoxue was 14 years old. Since that day, Su Qiaoxue and her father have been incompatible. Every time they met, they always quarreled. When Gu Chufeng came, he was the one who mediated. Although the relationship between the two was not very good, with his mediation, the frequency of quarrels between the two was greatly reduced. Otherwise, I will go with you. Before, with Gu Chufeng, nothing would happen. But now Gu Chufeng has resigned, and Su Qiaoxue is in this state. No, I can go by myself. After saying this, Su Qiaoxue left the box directly. The people in the box looked at this scene, staring at each other. Why did Qiaoxue do this? Obviously, if she and Gu Chufeng are officially together, there won't be so many things. Maybe Su Qiaoxue really doesn't know her good reputation. In her heart, she may think that she regards Gu Chufeng as a lover without feelings, but she doesn't know that she has already fallen in love with him. There is nothing in the world, but there is no regret medicine. Everyone sighed. For such a thing, no matter how much others persuade, it will be useless. Emotions, such a thing can only be explained by the parties involved. How can others explain it clearly? I'm afraid that sometimes the parties involved may not be able to explain it clearly. Gu Chufeng, Su Qiaoxue. The names are very compatible. But now, they have become what they are now. This makes them sigh. I don't know how long it took. Su Qiaoxue appeared in the villa in the suburbs. This is her home, to be precise, it was her home before she was 18 years old. She will never forget the day her mother died here. Every time she came here, she always felt sick, and every time, Gu Chufeng always stood firmly by her side, and then told her gently, "It's okay, I'm here." But now, Gu Chufeng is gone. I seem to have become a person again. "Miss, are you okay?" The driver looked at his chairman and asked quickly. "It's okay. I'm fine." Su Qiaoxue's words seemed to be telling the driver, and it seemed to be talking to herself. She slowly walked into the villa again. In the living room, a middle-aged man sat on the sofa. Although he was in his early 50s, he was still full of elegant temperament. "What's the matter with you coming back?" Su Qiaoxue sat opposite Su's father, her tone was cold. "Did you drink? It has nothing to do with you. If there is something, just say it. If there is nothing, I will leave." This is how they get along with their father and daughter. After that incident, Father Su knew he was wrong. Since then, he really didn't like women. Many times, people only know to change after they have done something wrong, but what's the value of that? When Su Qiaoxue became independent, Father Su gave the company to her and let her manage it. What's going on between you and Gu Chufeng? Why did he resign? In fact, Father Su was very satisfied with Gu Chufeng. Young, handsome, and most importantly, he could see that Gu Chufeng was serious about Su Qiaoxue. Therefore, he also hoped that Su Qiaoxue could be with Gu Chufeng. In this way, Su Qiaoxue would have someone to rely on. But she didn't expect that Chen Bei appeared in the company, but Gu Chufeng resigned. "What else can I do? I don't want to work here anymore." "Then leave." When Su Qiaoxue said Gu Chufeng, she felt a little sour in her heart. She didn't expect Gu Chufeng to really leave her. She didn't expect that she would be so devastated. At this moment, she realized that she had underestimated Gu Chufeng's position in her heart. "What about Chen Bei?" "My lover." Su Qiaoxue said nonchalantly. "What about Gu Chufeng?" "He is also my lover, so what?" Hearing this, Su's father stood up immediately. "Su Qiaoxue, are you crazy? Just for a lover, you let a right-hand man leave and gave up the company's development business. Where is your shrewdness? Where is your decisiveness?" Su Qiaoxue heard this, glanced at Su's father, and then laughed coldly. "What identity do you use to accuse me? Father? Do you have the qualifications? Mother left this world because of your bad things. When she left, she didn't even close her eyes. So, you don't deserve to blame me. If there is nothing else, I will leave." This matter will always be Su's father's eternal pain. He looked at Su Qiaoxue's back as she left. "I know that as a father, I did something wrong. I have no reason to ask for forgiveness, and I don't ask for your forgiveness. But Qiaoxue, Gu Chufeng is serious. He has been with you for so many years. I can see that you are also moved. In this case, I hope you can recognize your feelings. I have a regret in my relationship that I can't make up for even if I die. I don't want you to have regrets. Let Chen Bei go. Go find Gu Chufeng." Su Qiaoxue looked up at the sky after hearing this. It was grey. It seemed that it was about to rain. "My business is none of your business." After saying this, Su Qiaoxue left here directly. At this moment, there was no Gu Chufeng in her back. It was only her. Dividing line. "Wow, your cooking skills are great." On the other side, Gu Chufeng and Huang Ziki were eating in the house. Seeing Huang Ziki eating, Gu Chufeng smiled. "Eat slowly. Seeing you like this, I'm starting to wonder if you're the rich woman Huang Ziki I know." Gu Chufeng's tone was full of teasing. "What do you know? She's providing you with emotional value. Didn't you see what's said online? Praise your boyfriend more. Your boyfriend can do anything for you." At this time, Gu Chufeng didn't correct the address. She smiled. "Then eat more." After saying this, Gu Chufeng picked up a piece of sea cucumber and put it in Huang Ziki's bowl. "Thank you." Huang Ziki looked at Gu Chufeng and said with a smile. By the way, why don't you eat? I didn't exercise much in the morning, so I'm not very hungry. Oh, I thought you would say I'm a beauty. Hearing this, Gu Chufeng smiled. That's also the reason. Then do you want to eat? When she came back, Wang Ziki had already changed into her home clothes. In addition, she was so charming at this time. To be honest, she was really tempting. Although she was a few years older than Gu Chufeng, she was still A6. You are testing my determination. HMPH, you are so beautiful, unless you agree to be my boyfriend. Wang Ziki continued to eat. At this time, Gu Chufeng also took out his mobile phone. Log into the stock software. The money from the sale of stocks yesterday has been deposited into the software account. To be honest, this software is quite user-friendly. If you withdraw cash, this software will automatically deduct taxes for you. Gu Chufeng thought about it and directly withdrew all the money in it. There is no stock worth investing in the current stock market. Since there is no stock, then don't invest. In an instant, the assets in Gu Chufeng's bank card have doubled several times. Looking at these balances, let alone, Gu Chufeng feels more secure. Maybe because of the great changes in his family when he was young, Gu Chufeng is actually a person who does not have much sense of security. Now, money is his greatest sense of security. I will treat you to dinner in the afternoon. Hearing this, Gu Chufeng looked up and looked at Wang Ziki. What's wrong? You have cooked for me several times. Can't I treat you to dinner? Of course I'm fine, but you are famous workaholic in the circle. Don't you work overtime every day? When Gu Chufeng said this, his tone was full of ridicule. Hearing this, Wang Ziki coughed. It's okay to come back, so you might as well work hard for your career. Now I have you. What do you think? Do you want to go? Hearing Gu Chufeng nod. Go, I will definitely go. I'm so happy to eat your meal. When Wang Ziki heard Gu Chufeng agree, her face was full of happiness. That's a deal. Wait until you get off work. I won't go this afternoon. The company has recently completed a very important investment. I plan to take a break. Okay. In fact, there is another very important reason for giving herself a break. She wants to give herself and Gu Chufeng more space to get along. In this way, the relationship will warm up quickly. After dinner, Wang Ziki did not stay with Gu Chufeng, but returned to her home. After all, this was the first time she and Gu Chufeng had dinner outside, so she had to dress up. It is summer now. Wang Ziki chose a black skirt. Although she has a lot of clothes, this skirt is her favorite. It can set off her figure and temperament. Then she picked a pair of high heels. After changing into them, Wang Ziki shook her head with satisfaction. She felt it was perfect. Gu Chufeng matched a set of clothes with a youthful sport style, which looked sunny and handsome. In fact, if you think about it carefully, Gu Chufeng is only 25 or 26 years old at this time, and he is in his youth. Moreover, wearing this set of clothes, Gu Chufeng looks particularly charming, which can be said to be a deadly poison to royal sisters and even aunts. After choosing the clothes, Gu Chufeng sat on the sofa. Hey. Do you like it? At this time, Wang Ziki sent a message to Gu Chufeng. When he saw Wang Ziki in the picture, Gu Chufeng couldn't help swallowing his saliva. He was used to seeing Wang Ziki wearing professional OL clothes, and Wang Ziki in a skirt made people more beautiful. Beautiful. Maybe he felt that this seemed too cold. So immediately afterwards, Gu Chufeng sent two shy expressions. Looking at Gu Chufeng's reply, Wang Ziki blushed. Although Wang Ziki liked this skirt very much, she only wore it when she was with her bestie and family. It can be said that Gu Chufeng was definitely the first outsider to see her wearing this skirt. Both of them were looking forward to it, looking forward to their meal today. Dividing line. Brother Bay, I tell you, this stock will definitely make money. Experts have said that if you invest 1 million at this time, it will become 10 million in a few days. This is a good opportunity to make money. In a restaurant, Chen Bei was with another boy. In Su Qiaoxue's heart, Chen Bei was a clean and kind college student, but in fact, this guy was not so clean. When Chen Bei heard this, he looked at the screen of his mobile phone. He had heard many people in the company mention this stock. It has been gaining momentum recently. It is said that many people in the company have bought this stock. Gu Chufeng, who is so important to Su Qiaoxue, has been abandoned. If I am like this, then let alone. So, why not take this opportunity to make money? In this way, even if there are other people in the future, I can get money. Chen Bei looked at the rise, his eyes full of greed. He knew. People like him are just toys for Su Qiaoxue. If he could become a regular employee, I'm afraid Chen Bei would have followed others to become a regular employee. Yes, if Gu Chufeng also realized this, he would not have made himself like that. But I don't have any money. At this time, when Chen Bei said this, his tone was helpless. Su Qiaoxue only gave him 50,000 yuan a month, and he only had more than 200,000 yuan in his hand. If he invested this more than 200,000 yuan, he probably wouldn't make much money. It's easy. You are now second to none in Su Qiaoxue's company. It shouldn't be difficult to get some money. Get tens of millions from her, and then invest it. After making money, we will secretly return the money, without anyone knowing. How great it is. This person's words made Chen Bei excited. Now he and Su Qiaoxue are in the honeymoon period. Take some money and return it in a few days. What's the problem? Brother Bei, if you miss such a good opportunity, you will regret it for the rest of your life. Hearing this, Chen Bei clenched his fists. Okay, let's do it. Chapter 8 Official Announcement. Su Qiaoxue, Gu Chufeng, aren't you afraid that I will be sad? Gu Chufeng didn't know about Chen Bei and Su Qiaoxue's affairs, nor did he care. At this time, he was having dinner with Wang Ziki. This is a high-end restaurant in the city of Mo City. People who come here to eat are either rich or noble. Aren't you afraid that I will eat you out of money? Gu Chufeng looked at Wang Ziki in front of him, and his tone was full of ridicule. If you eat me out of money, you can support me. Wang Ziki said so. Gu Chufeng and Wang Ziki didn't spend much time together, but he could see that she was a person who liked to play straight. That's not impossible. Hearing this, Wang Ziki's eyes lit up. Well, what did you say? Wang Ziki asked. Looking at Wang Ziki's expression, Gu Chufeng knew that the other party had heard it. I didn't say anything. No, you did. Say it again, please, brother. No boy can stand a beautiful girl calling you brother. Especially when this girl is a cool queen outside. This contrast is even more fascinating. I said, I'll support you. Hearing this, Wang Ziki laughed. Don't forget, you said you would support me. Okay, but your company won't go bankrupt. Gu Chufeng handed the menu in his hand to Wang Ziki in front of him. Wang Ziki ordered a few of his favorites, and then handed the menu to Gu Chufeng. Let's have one for each of us. Okay, please wait. Gu Chufeng and Su Qiaoxue have been to this restaurant several times. But every time he came, he always wore a suit and tie. After all, Su Qiaoxue always asked Gu Chufeng to be decent. What are you thinking about? At this time, Gu Chufeng felt a foot touching him under the table. It was Wang Ziki. Today, Wang Ziki was wearing black stockings on her legs. Looking at Wang Ziki's charming eyes, Chunan sighed in his heart. This woman is really a fairy. Just now she was a cute girl, and now she has become a mature woman. Such a woman is full of poison. Thinking of some things in the past. Just after Gu Chufeng finished speaking, two people walked in at the door. When he saw these two people, Gu Chufeng frowned. It was Su Qiaoxue and Xie Shahan. Wang Ziki saw that Gu Chufeng's expression was not right and looked back. At this time, Su Qiaoxue and Xie Shahan at the door had also seen Gu Chufeng and Wang Ziki. The expression on Su Qiaoxue's face changed, and it was very ugly. Xie Shahan frowned. Qiaoxue, why don't we change places to eat? Hearing this, Su Qiaoxue shook her head. No. Let's eat here. If others can come, we can come too. After saying this, Su Qiaoxue walked directly towards Gu Chufeng and Wang Ziki. Mr. Su, I didn't expect to meet you here. It's really rare. It's really rare. Su Qiaoxue's tone was cold and ruthless. Her eyes were fixed on Gu Chufeng. She had an inexplicable emotion in her heart, as if she was betrayed. Mr. Su, is there anything? Gu Chufeng's tone was calm. It seemed that Su Qiaoxue's appearance did not affect his emotions. In fact, she did not affect Gu Chufeng. Nothing. Boss Wang is really good at seizing opportunities. But it's a bit embarrassing. I don't want it, but you treat it as a treasure. Do you want me to give you what I have now? Su Qiaoxue was speaking with a sarcastic tone. Xia Shahan, who was standing next to her, frowned when she heard this, and pulled her arm, signaling her to stop talking. But Su Qiaoxue couldn't control herself at this time. This was her character. The one now? Chen Bei. Forget it. I'm a very loyal person. I only like what I like. So, I want Gu Chufeng, and I only want him in this life. In fact, in the final analysis, I should also thank you. If it weren't for you, I'm afraid Chufeng and I really wouldn't have any chance. Are you right, Boss Su? Hearing this, the expression on Su Qiaoxue's face suddenly became ugly. Su Qiaoxue looked at Gu Chufeng. Are you really together? At this time, everyone's eyes were on Gu Chufeng. Hearing this, Gu Chufeng's mouth corners slightly raised. I guess so. Gu Chufeng nodded. Hearing this, Wang Ziqi's face was full of joy. This sentence can make her happy for a long time. Good, really good. Don't regret it. Gu Chufeng. Regret? Gu Chufeng felt that he should not regret it. He had thrown away half of his life for Su Qiaoxue. Now, he ushered in a new life. This life, he likes it very much. Naturally he would not want to go back to the past. I think I won't regret it. Hearing this, Su Qiaoxue nodded, then turned around and went to a place not far away. Xia Shahan looked at Gu Chufeng, looked at Su Qiaoxue, and could only follow Su Qiaoxue. Why are you so happy? Gu Chufeng looked at Wang Ziqi in front of him, his tone full of curiosity. Maybe it's because you just admitted that we are together. Hearing this, Gu Chufeng laughed dumbly. Just because of this? No one would have thought that a high-ranking female CEO would be happy about such a thing. Silly. Well, eat quickly. At this time, the waiter had already brought the food up. Okay. Su Qiaoxue, who was not far away, looked at Gu Chufeng and Wang Ziqi talking and laughing, and felt bitter in her heart. At this time, she was not as tough as she had just shown. When Gu Chufeng answered her question just now, she expected Gu Chufeng to say that he was not with Wang Ziqi, but he didn't. Gu Chufeng still admitted that he was with the other party. Admit it. Admit it in front of her. Su Qiaoxue really wanted to ask. Gu Chufeng said that, isn't he afraid of making her sad? Sad? But why is Su Qiaoxue sad? In the final analysis, it's all because of Su Qiaoxue herself that she has become like this now. If she hadn't been like that at the beginning, how could Wang Ziqi take advantage of the opportunity? Now she puts all the problems on Gu Chufeng again. I don't know what she's thinking. Xia Shahan looked at Su Qiaoxue like this, knowing that she was in pain now, but it's like this with love. You don't know how to cherish until you lose it, but by then, it's too late. Qiaoxue, what do you want to eat? Anything is fine. Hearing this, Xia Shahan sighed. Okay, then I'll order it for you. In the past, every time they went out to eat, Gu Chufeng would be very happy. He would remember Su Qiaoxue's favorite taste and arrange everything, but now, there is no one who treats her well in every detail. Although Su's father was a scumbag in the past, he understood feelings better than Su Qiaoxue. Hey, tell me quickly, are we officially together? Wang Ziqi looked at Gu Chufeng with expectation in his eyes. Hearing this, Gu Chufeng smiled. Guess. I won't guess. Anyway, we are together. Otherwise, I'll have someone drug you and make it a done deal. This. Hearing this, Gu Chufeng was stunned for a moment. This woman is really fierce. But with Gu Chufeng's understanding of Wang Ziqi, as long as she can say it, then she can definitely do it. Forget it. Gu Chufeng nodded. He still has a good impression of Wang Ziqi. In this case, why not be together? It never takes a long time to pursue a relationship. If two people like each other, it may take a few days. If you pursue for several months and get nothing in return, then congratulations, you don't have to pursue, because the person who likes you will not let you pursue for so long. Then, Wang Ziqi stretched out her hand. Looking at this, Gu Chufeng's mouth corners slightly raised. He also stretched out his hand. The two held hands together. Everything seemed to be unspoken. Huang Ziqi's hands were slightly cold, but very soft. Okay, then I can live in your house openly. Of course. The two smiled at each other. Su Qiaoxue, who was standing next to him, felt her heart bleeding when she saw this scene. Gu Chufeng's tenderness just now used to belong to her alone. But now, Gu Chufeng gave it to others. This feeling is like the thing that she cares about the most, turns around and belongs to others. Who can accept this? I'm full. After saying this, Su Qiaoxue stood up and left here directly. Seeing this, Xia Shahan sighed and followed her out. Qiaoxue, are you really in love with him? Su Qiaoxue was slightly stunned when she heard this. Love? I don't know what love is. I only know that my heart hurts at this time. Su Qiaoxue never knew what love is. What happened at home when she was a child made her subconsciously no longer believe in love. Hearing this, Xia Shahan paused. She looked at her bestie. She felt mixed emotions. Shahan, I want to stay alone for a while. Okay, call me if you need anything. Yes. Hearing this, Su Qiaoxue slowly walked towards a place not far away. She didn't know what her destination was. For some reason, she once again felt lonely. When did she last feel this way? It should be the day her mother died. That day, her mother was pissed to death by the mistress. Before the ambulance came, Su Qiaoxue just held her mother's body. She thought her mother was just unconscious, not dead. She called her mother over and over again, but every time, there was no response. Then that day, she lost her mother and turned against her father. During that time, she was very lonely. She felt that no one in the world cared about her. She madly filled herself with all kinds of things to make herself not so lonely, because this was the feeling she hated the most. Every time she was lonely, she would always think of her mother. Then, she met Gu Chufeng. At that time, Gu Chufeng was like a homeless stray dog on the street. She found him. Ask him. Are you willing to go with me? You can't betray me, you can't leave me. At that time, Gu Chufeng was dirty, but he was really good looking, and his eyes were clean, so she wanted to take Gu Chufeng away. And he changed from a homeless child to a genius in the financial circle. But in the end, he left. Dividing line. Well, let's go too. In the restaurant, Gu Chufeng and Huang Ziqi finished their meal. Okay. Gu Chufeng stood up and took the bag from Huang Ziqi's hand naturally. Then he stretched out his hand. Since we are boyfriend and girlfriend, there should be nothing wrong with holding hands, right? Of course. Huang Ziqi said with a smile. When the hands were held, Huang Ziqi's ears were slightly red, and the two walked outside. The weather is good today, with a gentle breeze. Do you want to take a photo and make an official announcement? Huang Ziqi looked at Gu Chufeng and asked. Hearing this, Gu Chufeng nodded. It's too normal to announce a relationship. Huang Ziqi took out his mobile phone, found the camera, and took a photo of the two holding hands. What copy should I choose? Huang Ziqi frowned, as if he felt that the several copywritings he thought of were not so good. Hearing this, Gu Chufeng slowly spoke. We. How about this? We. We are us. We are us now and we will be us in the future. This is okay. Huang Ziqi sent the photo she had just taken, and then opened the circle of friends. The two were in the same circle and knew many people. After confirming the picture and copywriting, the two also sent it out. This official announcement will shock the entire circle. No one would have thought of it. At this time, Chenbei was lying at home, scrolling through his circle of friends. His house was bought by Su Qiaoxue and then given to Chenbei. It was in the city center. Although the area was only more than 80 square meters, it was almost close to 10 million. Su Qiaoxue only gave this kind of treatment to Chenbei. Gu Chufeng had never received it. In fact, Gu Chufeng really didn't care about these. At that time, he wanted to be with Su Qiaoxue and wanted to marry Su Qiaoxue. He didn't care about the money or things given by the other party. He just wanted this person. But later, Gu Chufeng understood. Su Qiaoxue could give everything, but not feelings. From beginning to end, he was just a lover. A lover who could be replaced at any time. When Chenbei saw Gu Chufeng posted a circle of friends, he immediately clicked in. We. When he saw these two words, Chen Bei's heart tightened. Could it be Gu Chufeng and Su Qiaoxue? But after a closer look, he was relieved. Fortunately, it was not Su Qiaoxue. Huang Ziki. How could it be? Gu Chufeng is so lucky. After leaving Su Qiaoxue, he is actually with Huang Ziki. He has been in this circle for a while. He knows and has seen Huang Ziki, a big shot in the industry. In his eyes, Huang Ziki is as good looking and fit as Su Qiaoxue, and her net worth is even higher. But no matter what, Gu Chufeng already has someone else, so now I can move into Gu Chufeng's villa. Thinking of this, Chen Bei's mouth corners slightly raised. He thinks that he may have a chance to succeed. Eating for a while and eating for a lifetime. If he can choose, he wants to eat for a lifetime. Chapter 9 Teeth Touching. Chunan, Mr. Huang, your kissing is a bit bad. After finishing their meal, Gu Chufeng and Huang Ziki walked hand in hand on the road. The magic city was full of lights and nightlife at night. When the two passed a bar, the music inside was blaring and the young people inside were releasing their passion and youth. Gu Chufeng is about the same age as the people inside, but after experiencing so much, his mental age has increased a lot. Why, do you want to go in and play? Huang Ziki looked at Gu Chufeng beside him and said this. Hearing this, Gu Chufeng shook his head. Goodbye. I don't belong here. Hearing this, Huang Ziki smiled. You are so young, but you have the temperament of an old cadre. But there's nothing I can do about it. I just like this kind of temperament in you. Huang Ziki hugged Gu Chufeng's arm, like the sweetest couple in the world. The fragrance from her body blew into Gu Chufeng's nose, it smelled very good. Hey, I thought you liked my looks. Hearing this, Huang Ziki blushed. Shame on you. How can you praise yourself like that? Snort. That's not the case. I'm not the kind of person who's attracted by beauty. Huang Ziki would never admit that she was attracted by Gu Chufeng's appearance when she first saw him. She had never thought that there would be such a good-looking person in the world who could perfectly meet her aesthetic standards. And also capable. This is the boyfriend I want most. Oh, really? Seeing the teasing on Gu Chufeng's face, Huang Ziki spoke, her tone full of coquettishness. It's so bad. I'm ignoring you. After saying this, Huang Ziki ran forward. Gu Chufeng asked and followed. The two of them just ran like this. Soon, Gu Chufeng caught up with Huang Ziki. Hello. What? Gu Chufeng looked at Huang Ziki with confusion on his face. Kiss me. There was no one around, so Huang Ziki naturally wanted to kiss her boyfriend. Under the streetlight, Chunan slowly bent down. It seems that everything is self-evident. Huang Ziki was standing on tiptoe. At this moment, the man kissed the woman. Not to mention, Huang Ziki's kissing skills are a little poor. When they kissed, their teeth touched several times. Gu Chufeng had some doubts in his mind. Could I be Huang Ziki's first love? But it is obvious that any normal person would never ask such a question at this time. Unless you want to make your girlfriend angry. And if your girlfriend is angry, you will understand what it means that an angry girlfriend is harder to control than a pig during the Chinese New Year. But Gu Chufeng and Huang Ziki didn't know that there was someone watching each other not far away. It's Su Qiaoxue. Su Qiaoxue saw everything that happened just now. She had even forgotten when was the last time Gu Chufeng was so happy. Months ago. Or half a year ago. Or maybe even longer. When the kissing scene appeared, she felt her heart was hurt. After all, she still underestimated Gu Chufeng's position in her heart. But there is everything in this world except medicine for regret. I want to stay with you at night. Huang Ziki tilted her head and looked at Gu Chufeng, her eyes full of anticipation and her red cheeks enough to show her shyness. That won't do. Someone just said that I have a foul mouth. This is what Huang Ziki said after the kiss. Of course, it was just a little joke between lovers to lighten the mood. Huang Ziki blushed. Please, just promise me. I want to be able to hold you in my arms at night. Huang Ziki now wants to stay with Gu Chufeng all the time, especially at night. To Huang Ziki, this man is like an addictive poison. Even if you know that he will kill you, you still want to stay by her side. Reason told Huang Ziki that he should stay away. But emotion immediately overwhelms reason, and it has to get closer. Is that so? Well, it depends on your performance. So you agree to this? No. Gu Chufeng, you are looking for death. Huang Ziki looked at Chunan's smirk and chased after him. There were laughters from two people not far away. Looking at the scene not far away, Su Qiaoxue slowly sat down on the chair next to her. At some point, tears filled her eyes. Dividing line. The next morning, Su Qiaoxue entered the company. At this time, Chen was already waiting here. When Chen saw Su Qiaoxue, a smile was on his face. Su Qiaoxue said that she liked Chen smile the most because it could heal people. In the past, when Su Qiaoxue was unhappy, as long as Chen smiled, she would be happy. But now, Chen smile no longer had any effect on her. Boss Su. Chen obediently followed Su Qiaoxue into the office. Qiaoxue. What's up? Su Qiaoxue looked at Chen. At this moment, Chen seemed to have made some decision, and then he spoke slowly. Can I move to your villa? There are often quarrels next to the house I live in. I'm a little scared. That's right. Now Chen wants to move to Su Qiaoxue's villa. In this way, your position will be more stable. Maybe it's possible to get a regular job. Hearing this, Su Qiaoxue frowned. I'll ask someone to find you a new house. Hearing this means rejection. Su Qiaoxue naturally would not agree. There are traces of Gu Chufeng in that villa, and she doesn't want anyone to disturb these traces. No one knows what is going on with Su Qiaoxue. I didn't know how to cherish the person when I had her, and now that she is gone, I miss her again. It's true. Things like feelings are not so easy to understand. Hearing this, Chen Bei's eyes were full of dissatisfaction. He didn't expect that Su Qiaoxue would reject him. This had never happened before. In the past, no matter what Chen Bei needed, Su Qiaoxue would agree. If he wanted to go to her friend's party, no problem, Su Qiaoxue would take him. If he didn't want to discuss the contract, no problem, let Gu Chufeng go. But now, the other party refused. Why was Gu Chufeng able to live in the villa before? But I can't do that. What's so good about this guy? Chen Bei roared in his heart. Of course, he also knew that the man in front of him was his financial sponsor. Even if he had a lot to hide, he had to keep it hidden. Okay, I understand. Su Qiaoxue heard this and nodded. I really don't want to go to work. At Gu Chufeng's home, Wang Ziki at this time was like Gu Chufeng's conjoined twin. Whenever she had time, she would stick to Gu Chufeng. Good. If you don't go to work, who will support me? This statement was of course a joke. Gu Chufeng has already achieved financial freedom. Alas, I now understand why those emperors are obsessed with women. Huang Ziki looked at Gu Chufeng's face. I really can't get enough of it. I really want Gu Chufeng to be by my side all the time, so that I can watch it whenever I want. Go quickly. I'll pick you up at noon, okay? They have become boyfriends, so it is normal for a boyfriend to pick up his girlfriend from get off work, right? Real. Sure enough, Huang Ziki's face was full of joy when he heard this. Of course it's true. Hey, then I'll want 3, no, 5 kisses, the kind that includes French kisses. Huang Ziki is now more ambitious. Yesterday's kiss was just a brief taste. But now French kissing has become a must. Okay. Gu Chufeng looked at Huang Ziki with tenderness in his eyes. Okay, I'm going to work then. Good. After Huang Ziki left, Gu Chufeng sat on the sofa. He turned on the TV and prepared to watch a movie he really wanted to see, but before he had watched for long, Gu Chufeng's cell phone rang. He took a look and saw it was Father Su. To be honest, Father Su treats Gu Chufeng very well. Treat him exactly like a son. So even though he had ended his relationship with Su Qiaoxue, and it wasn't a very decent ending, he still had to answer the call from Su's father. Gu Chufeng picked up the phone. Answer the phone. Boss Su. Chufeng, do you have time now? Yes, what's the matter with you? Nothing, I just want to talk about you and Qiaoxue. What happened between Su Qiaoxue and myself? Hearing this name, Gu Chufeng's face was full of helplessness. They are over. If nothing unexpected happens, the two will never meet again in this life. I know, you and Qiaoxue are over. But we have to meet each other. Isn't it? The other party has already said so, so what else can Gu Chufeng do? I had no choice but to agree. The meeting place this time was at a coffee shop. Boss Su. Forgive me for being late. Gu Chufeng said this when he saw Su's father. Hearing this, Su's father stretched out his hand and motioned for the other party to sit down. This place is closer to me, so I came a little earlier. Is it not delaying your work? Hearing this, Gu Chufeng shook his head. No, I am free now. Any ideas now? Father Su looked at Gu Chufeng and asked. Hearing this, Gu Chufeng thought about it. No ideas at the moment. I just want to take a break and relax. Gu Chufeng said so. He really didn't plan to enter the financial world in the future. It was too tiring. Besides, there were many memories here, but most of these memories were bad. So in this case, it would be better to leave completely. Now he just hopes that he and Su Qiaoxue will never meet again in this life. This way, it's good for both of them. You and Qiaoxue. Finally, the topic came here. I had some thoughts that I shouldn't have had. Since there is no possibility, I will leave. At the very least, it gives the two of us a decent ending. A decent ending? If the dignity is really over, then why is Su Qiaoxue like this recently? If decency is really over, why has Su Qiaoxue been drinking recently? In fact, a bystander sees more clearly, and everyone knows it clearly. Su Qiaoxue likes Gu Chufeng. It's the kind of thing that I really like. It's just that she herself doesn't know it. Even at this point, Su Qiaoxue was unwilling to admit it. Because, from the beginning to the end, she told herself that Gu Chufeng was her lover and she could change him if she wanted. You should know about me and Qiaoxue's mother. I did something wrong back then, causing Qiaoxue to lose her mother and making her no longer believe in love. That's why she has always been averse to relationships. You are the first boy she brought back home. After so many years, in her heart, there is basically no difference between you and her husband. It's a pity that she didn't realize this. Then she did a series of wrong things and made you leave. At this time, she probably realized that her feelings for you were different. At this time, Gu Chufeng did not speak, but kept listening to the person in front of him. So, after so many years of relationship, have you really let it go? You've been through so much together. You encountered so many challenges, but in the end, you solved them all. You two were so close before. If you two never see each other again just because of her emotional insensitivity, wouldn't that be a pity? Is it such a pity? But the pain, sadness, and collapse of the past few months were all experienced by Gu Chufeng personally. He didn't want to go through it again. Even if Chen Bei wasn't there, there would be others in the future. So if that's the case, why doesn't he choose someone he loves? Boss Su, I understand what you mean. But the word fate is really hard to describe. Maybe she really doesn't understand her own feelings. But now that it's over, I think it's over. She deserves someone better, and I'm not that better person. It's just that this person isn't me. Gu Chufeng's tone was calm. What I have experienced in the past few months is enough to make me feel heartbroken. So, why turn back? The future is better. When Father Su heard this, he sighed. It seems that you have made a decision. Yes, Mr. Su, I am also very grateful for your kindness to me in the past, so please forgive me. There is no such thing as forgiveness or not. This matter was ultimately caused by Qiaoxue alone. I don't blame you. Hearing this, Gu Chufeng did not say anything. If you don't have anything else to do, I'll leave first. Father Su nodded. At this time, Gu Chufeng stood up, turned around, and left. Looking at Gu Chufeng's back as he left, Father Su sighed. Qiaoxue, you will really regret it for the rest of your life. He said this in a low voice. Oftentimes, timing is of the essence. Meet the right person at the right time, and build a happy marriage through the right experiences. This is beautiful. But Gu Chufeng and Su Qiaoxue are the right people with the right experience, but they did not meet at the right time. Because at this time, Su Qiaoxue didn't understand what love was at all. If Gu Chufeng hadn't fallen in love, perhaps they would have stayed like this for the rest of their lives. But unfortunately, Gu Chufeng fell in love. And this one just happened to completely end them. Chapter 10. Hey, Gu Chufeng, you've been teased. After meeting Su's father, Gu Chufeng went straight home. Not long after he got home, his cell phone rang. It's a message from Huang Ziki. A reminder from the housekeeper. Please pick up your lovely girlfriend before 12 noon. You will receive 3 kisses from your girlfriend as a reward. Seeing this news, Gu Chufeng burst into laughter. I don't know whether this is a reward for myself or for Huang Ziki. Receive. I wonder what my lovely girlfriend would like to eat for lunch. Gu Chufeng replied. At this time, inside the office, Huang Ziki was looking at the message sent by Gu Chufeng, with the corners of his mouth slightly raised. Will sweet and sour spare ribs work? Sure. Thank you for your hard work, husband. Sweet and sour spare ribs is one of Gu Chufeng's specialties, and it is not that difficult to make. Gu Chufeng put on his coat and prepared to go to the supermarket outside to buy some spare ribs. Before he went out, his cell phone rang. Gu Chufeng took out his cell phone and took a look. It was Wang Duan. They had known each other for 6 years and he was considered Gu Chufeng's best friend. Hey, terminal, what's going on? Gu Chufeng answered the phone and said. Chufeng, do you have time now? I want to ask you for help with something. Hearing this, Gu Chufeng frowned. Wang Duan's family is fairly well off. He opened a milk tea brand, which has a 40% market share in the domestic milk tea market and makes over 1 billion yuan in profit each year. Even in a place like Shanghai, he can be said to be a truly wealthy man. Wang Duan works in the company, preparing to take over the family business in the future. He is doing very well now, and many veterans in the company admire him. What can a young man like you ask me for help? Go ahead. Gu Chufeng smiled. Do you know Desi? Hearing this, Gu Chufeng nodded. Yes. Desi is Wang Duan's childhood friend. Last time, Wang Duan specially introduced Desi to Gu Chufeng. Currently, Desi has opened a game company. It is said that he spent 3 or 4 years designing a game, and it seems that he will start selling it soon. What's wrong with him? Gu Chufeng's tone was full of curiosity. Hasn't he recently finished his game? It's about to be released. Games require a lot of money for promotion, which is also known as marketing. But he has used up all the money he has. When he went to look for investors, no one wanted to see him. I raised some money for him, but it was still not enough, so he found me and said he wanted to talk to you to see if you have any ideas. Gaming company. Gu Chufeng has never invested in such a company. Moreover, investors in the market are very cautious about game companies. The reason is very simple. The domestic internet giant Tongfei company started out by copying games. As long as a game becomes popular on the market, they will imitate it as quickly as possible, and then use their own powerful traffic to kill the original work. They have done this not once or twice, but more than a dozen times, and each time they have been successful. It is also for this reason that investors will not invest in gaming companies. Because how could these game companies that still need investment possibly outperform Tongfei Group? That game of his should be a 2-dimensional game, right? Gu Chufeng thought for a moment and asked. Desi mentioned this matter when we met last time. Right. I watched their game and it seemed pretty good. It's relatively new, and the plot is interesting and imaginative. If the marketing level can keep up, I think it shouldn't be a problem for this game to become a hit. Wang Duan said so. Wang Duan has prepared 70 million for marketing expenses, but this money seems to be a lot, but if you want to do marketing, it is definitely not enough. But there is no way. Now the family company is controlled by his father, and he is unwilling to invest in a game company, so Wang Duan really can't take out other money. Therefore, he thought of Gu Chufeng. Gu Chufeng has plenty of cash. If he is willing to invest, the current predicament will be solved. Okay. How about this? I'm free around 3 this afternoon. Take him to my house. I'll talk to him. Of course, it's just a chat. As for whether it can be successful, it still depends on the quality and level of the game, as well as the ability of the other party. If any of these 3 points is missing, Gu Chufeng will not invest. He is rich. But if he was a fool, he wouldn't have so much money. Of course, if it is really good, Gu Chufeng will also invest. After all, investing is like gambling. If you don't dare to try, you will never earn any income. Moreover, Gu Chufeng has a lot of wealth here, so one or two failed investments will not have any impact on him. Okay, I'll take him there. By the way, what's going on between you and Su Qiaoxue? Why are you suddenly together with Wang Ziki again? Wang Duan's tone was full of confusion. It had only been a few days, how could such a big thing happen? Oh, it's a long story. Let's talk about it when we meet this afternoon. Okay. After saying this, the two hung up the phone. Gu Chufeng went out and came to the supermarket, where he bought some small spare ribs. Generally speaking, the ribs used to make sweet and sour spare ribs are these small ribs, which are mostly lean meat. If you buy large ribs, there will be too much fat and they will taste very greasy. After buying, Gu Chufeng went home. Cook 1 sweet and sour pork ribs, and 2 vegetarian dishes. After cooking, Gu Chufeng looked at the time. Well, it's already 11 o'clock. Gu Chufeng put the vegetables into the insulated box and then went out to pick up Wang Ziki. Gu Chufeng only got his driver's license 3 years ago. The next day after getting the license, he bought himself a luxury car worth 1 million yuan, which was all white. In fact, when he went to buy the car that day, he was thinking of another model of car, but when he walked into the store, he was attracted to this car at first sight. When he sat in it, he felt very comfortable, and then he bought the car without any hesitation. Not long after, Gu Chufeng drove to the parking lot. Here we are. Gu Chufeng took a photo and sent it to Wang Ziki. Soon, news about Wang Ziki came. Thank you, husband. He, I love my husband the most. Mua. Looking at these words, Gu Chufeng's mouth corners slightly raised. It seems that the feeling of truly being in love is really different. There is a kind of sweetness. But Su Qiaoxue had never given herself this kind of sweetness. In fact, he also understood. If he really regarded Su Qiaoxue as his employer, they would be together for life. But he was unwilling to give up. That's why this is the result. But now, nothing matters anymore. Husband. When Wang Ziki got into the car, she said loudly, "Today, Wang Ziki is wearing a professional outfit with black stockings wrapped around her legs, giving her a mature and intellectual look. If your employees see this, will your image in the company be ruined?" Gu Chufeng's tone was full of sarcasm. Just look and you'll see. What's wrong with me calling my boyfriend hubby? La, husband. It seemed that they hadn't seen each other for the whole morning, so Wang Ziki called her husband frantically. Stupid. Gu Chufeng reached out and scratched her nose. Wang Ziki is really an exquisite porcelain doll. Just like God's most satisfying work, this face has no flaws at all. Let's go. I'll take you to dinner. Hearing this, Wang Ziki nodded. Thank you for your hard work, husband. There were a lot of cars on the road at that time, but because the community was not far from the company, they arrived home in about 30 minutes. Wow, what a delicious smell. Whose boyfriend cooks so deliciously? Oh, it's mine. Wang Ziki's tone was full of exaggeration. Oh, if you say that, I'm afraid my tail will fly into the sky. Then you have to take me with you when the time comes. Wrong. This female president seems to be in love. Gu Chufeng came to the kitchen and took out the food from the insulated box. It's delicious and has good color, aroma and taste. Then he served rice for himself and Wang Ziki. Eat quickly. Okay. Wang Ziki picked up a piece of pork ribs and put it in Gu Chufeng's bowl. Husband eats first. Stupid. The two of them started eating. Wang Ziki was really hungry after working all morning. Plus, the food Gu Chufeng cooked was delicious, so Wang Ziki ate without much image. Seeing Wang Ziki like this, Gu Chufeng's mouth corners slightly raised, his eyes full of satisfaction. There is nothing more joyful than having other people enjoy the food you cook. After eating, Wang Ziki burped. It's delicious. Okay, then you take a rest first, I'll go wash the dishes. No, I'll go, he. Wang Zi was quick to act and quickly took the dishes and chopsticks into the kitchen, while Gu Chufeng was standing next to the kitchen. Well, why don't you go take a rest? Here with you. Gu Chufeng said so. Hey. The two people smiled at each other. On the other side, here is Su Qiaoxue. Bang. Su Qiaoxue threw the documents in her hand onto the table. The people in front of her lowered their heads and trembled. Why did this partner increase the amount by 10%? Hearing this, several people looked at each other. In the past, this cooperation was always handled by Gu Chufeng. But now that Gu Chufeng has resigned, they took over the contract, but they did not expect that the other party would raise the price by 10%. Mr. Ma said that those prices were due to the personal relationship between Director Gu and him, so he gave friendly prices. And now? What now? Gu Chufeng is gone. Then people naturally don't have to give a friendly price. In fact, compared to Su Qiaoxue, Gu Chufeng knows how to build friendships with people better. It is also for this reason that he can often get projects at a slightly lower price, or at a similar price. Don't underestimate this ability. If you don't have this ability, then if you want to get the contract, you must offer a price for higher than the other party, and then the profit will be reduced. In fact, no one understood why Director Su actually let Gu Chufeng go. Just because of Chen Bei. In their hearts, 10,000 Chen Beis are not even 1/10 as good as Gu Chufeng. But this is the leader's private matter after all, and they can't say anything. Then go and talk about it. Use the original price. Hearing this, everyone's faces were filled with embarrassment. Chairman, this may be a bit difficult. And we have heard that several companies are also in contact with the other party. If we delay a little bit, the project may be lost. There was trembling in one person's tone. They have done their best. But if the other party doesn't want to, what can I do? When there are difficulties, find ways to solve them. Otherwise, what's the point of me raising you? Go down and solve this matter in 3 days. Everyone had no choice but to leave. Everyone in the company could feel that Su Qiaoxue was in a bad mood these days and her anger increased significantly. This made them have no choice but to agree. If they really couldn't complete it, they would just resign. What else could they do? Anyway, capable executives like them would never lack money to make no matter where they went or what company they went to. Inside the office, Su Qiaoxue frowned. She could also feel that her mood had changed a lot recently. In the past, Gu Chufeng was there, so a lot of negative emotions would be resolved by him. But after Gu Chufeng left, there was no such person anymore. Gu Chufeng sat on the chair, his face full of fatigue. In addition to life, Gu Chufeng also played a big role in Su Qiaoxue's work. However, he did not think so before. Now, with Gu Chufeng's departure, Su Qiaoxue truly felt that it seemed that she could not leave Gu Chufeng. Just then, there was a knock on the door. Hearing the knock on the door, Su Qiaoxue forced herself to stay awake. Enter. Su Qiaoxue said so. A man walked in. Chairman. News came from the villa that the old chairman met with Gu Chufeng today. Hearing this, Su Qiaoxue paused. What did you say? Now, even when Su Qiaoxue hears the name Gu Chufeng, her heart will be shaken to a certain extent. This was not the case before. It's about you. This person was also hesitating whether he should say it or not. Su Qiaoxue glanced at him. Go ahead. The old chairman hoped that Gu Chufeng could come back to you, but he didn't expect that Gu Chufeng would directly refuse. Hearing this, Su Qiaoxue smiled. Gu Chufeng, Gu Chufeng. Does he think he can be with Huang Ziki forever? Don't be ridiculous. What kind of family is the Huang family? It's a family with a longer history than ours. With his assets, can he be favored by the Huang family? Su Qiaoxue is just waiting. Wait for the Huang family to take action and separate Gu Chufeng and Huang Ziki. In this case, Gu Chufeng is still alone. And I still have a chance. Look, this side. Keep watching. Oh, and ask someone to find out what Gu Chufeng is doing now. Clear. This person is considered to be Su Qiaoxue's direct descendant. He knows a lot about Su Qiaoxue and Gu Chufeng, so he actually doesn't understand. Since the chairman cares so much about Gu Chufeng, why did he do these things a few months ago? This is obviously not in line with common sense, but he knows that there are some questions that he cannot ask. Therefore, at this time, after he finished speaking, he left here directly. Looking at his leaving back, Su Qiaoxue frowned. Now she is eager to know what Gu Chufeng does every day. Even if Gu Chufeng left her, even if Gu Chufeng was with Wang Ziki, so what? She, Su Qiaoxue, just wanted to control Gu Chufeng and know his every move. Chapter 11 Meeting the Parents. Mr. Huang's careful plan, eat it up quickly. In the afternoon, Gu Chufeng sent Wang Ziki to work. Then as expected, Wang Ziki was late. In fact, Wang Ziki was not late when they arrived at the parking lot, but when they kissed each other, except for a few unexpected things, the two of them kissed for almost 10 minutes. If Gu Chufeng had not braked in time, I'm afraid neither of them would have been able to control themselves today. However, when going downstairs, Wang Ziki's face was red. Fortunately, there was an exclusive elevator from the chairman's office on the top floor to the parking lot, otherwise, everyone in the company would be able to see Wang Ziki's red face when he entered the company. After watching Wang Ziki enter the elevator, Gu Chufeng turned the car around and left the parking lot. Return home. Not long after, there was a knock on the door. I think it should be Wang Duan and Desi. Open the door. Chufeng. Come on, come in. Desi's face looked exhausted at this time. It seemed that he had not had a good rest during this period of time because of the money. There is nothing wrong with the saying that a penny can make a hero fall. Lao Wang has already told me about your situation. I'm sorry to bother you at this time. If there is any other way, I will definitely not disturb your rest. It's okay. I'm also an investor and a businessman. Business is business. If the project is good, I don't think it will bother me. When talking about this project, Desi's face is full of confidence. He is very confident about this game. He has been working on this game for 3 years and has spent nearly 100 million yuan, doing everything himself. He believes that there must be no problem with the quality of his project, and as long as it can be matched with marketing, the income will definitely not be low. Have you got the game over here? Here it is. Look, this is the specific information of our game. This game is a 2-dimensional game. At present, in China, to be precise, there are no 2-dimensional games in the world. Even if there are, the performance is quite average. No wonder no investors are willing to invest. Moreover, the marketing costs here will require at least several hundred million. Not all investment companies can come up with so much money. The plot is good, the character modeling is also okay, and the Krypton Gold system is reasonable. Are there any games on the computer? At this time, Gu Chufeng noticed that the other party brought a laptop, so he asked. I got it. Please look. The other party turns on the computer and logs into the game. The graphics are beautiful too. Although it is a fighting game, the scenery is full of beauty, which should attract many girls. The characters in it are also very good looking, and you can see that the other party has put a lot of effort into the details. It is estimated that it will attract many 2-dimensional fans to come and play. At this time, Gu Chufeng tried the game himself for about 2 hours. It was good, the fighting effects were perfect and very smooth. Overall, if it were Gu Chufeng, he would think it's worth a try. I think this project is pretty good. How many players do you think there will be in the end? Gu Chufeng looked at Desi and asked. Our forecast is that with effective marketing, there should be about 15 million daily active users. Hearing this, Gu Chufeng looked at Desi. You should know that the most popular mobile game on the market currently only has about 5 million daily active users. I know this, but I believe in my product, and I also think it is a game that can be called art. Very crazy. But there is also confidence. Gu Chufeng nodded. Tell me how much investment you need. At present, we are looking at around 300 million yuan for marketing expenses. Mr. Wang gave us 70 million yuan, and we are still short of 230 million yuan. If you are willing to provide us with this capital, we can give you 35% of the company's shares. 230 million in exchange for 35% of the shares. If it is an established company, there is naturally no problem with this price. But now the other party's game has not been officially launched, so no one can say anything about the performance issue. Although Desi was his childhood friend, Wang Duan knew that he could only let the two of them meet once. As for the rest, he would do nothing and could not speak during the negotiation. A 35% stake, that's a little bit not in line with my expectations. I think I need 45% on my side. 45%. When he heard this number, Desi frowned. If given, the other party will be the largest shareholder in this company. If he links up with other shareholders, then the company belongs to him. I know what you're worried about. Although it is 45% of the shares, the corresponding 45% of the voting rights, I can sign a contract with you and you can handle it on my behalf. In other words, I only want 45% of the dividends. Of course, in order to protect my own interests, I also need a veto power on the board of directors. And I can increase the investment amount to 300 million. That's my condition. You can think about it carefully. After saying this, Gu Chufeng pushed the contract in front of him to Desi. Desi frowned. During this period, he looked for all the investors he could find, but none of them agreed. If he rejected Gu Chufeng, he would have to sell the game to Tongfei Company for 200 million yuan. He could then make tens of millions, but he couldn't bear to do so because it was his hard work. I can. Finally, Desi nodded and agreed to this matter. Okay, when do we sign the contract? Are you free tomorrow morning? Sure, you can just come directly then. Good. Now that we have discussed business matters, let us talk about some personal matters. Balcony. You and Su Qiaoxue. Wang Duan looked at Gu Chufeng and asked. In fact, he had known about Chen Bei's affairs for a long time. At that time, he had been persuading Gu Chufeng to give up Su Qiaoxue. However, Gu Chufeng was always hesitant at that time, thinking that the two of them should not have such an ending. In the field of investment, Gu Chufeng is cold and decisive, but in terms of feelings, he is hesitant. It's not that he is hesitant about feelings, but for so many years, Su Qiaoxue has occupied such a large position in Gu Chufeng's life, so he is reluctant to let her go. She is the woman who got herself out of hell. But in the end, they ended up with nothing. It's over. The 100 points given to her have become 0. When Chen Bei framed Gu Chufeng for the first time, Su Qiaoxue pretended not to see it. At that time, Gu Chufeng gave her 100 chances. As long as the other party was willing to speak for her once, Gu Chufeng would not choose to leave, but she didn't do it even once. No one knew better than him how heartbroken he was when he decided to leave that night. To use their words on the internet now, Gu Chufeng was really a bootlicker at that time. He values Su Qiaoxue more than his own life. No matter what, now that I'm gone, I'll enjoy my new life. You and Wang Ziki. At this time, Wang Duan had a look of dismay on his face. She was my neighbor, and then the two of them got together for some unknown reason. Look, they are still together for no apparent reason. You have such a sweet look on your face right now, which is good. I think Wang Ziki is more suitable for you than Su Qiaoxue. I saw your official announcement on WeChat Moments, and her eyes are full of love for you. I have never seen that in Su Qiaoxue's eyes. Maybe Wang Ziki is your perfect match. Yes. My perfect match. Hearing this, Gu Chufeng looked outside. I hope so. She's a very lovely person. I think we should be very happy together. Wang Duan nodded. Believe me. I will. Because eyes can't lie. The two people smiled at each other. Yes. The eyes can't lie. I hope I can attend your wedding banquet one day earlier. I must be the best man then. Hearing this, Gu Chufeng nodded. Don't worry, you will definitely be the best man. I will ask Ziki if there is a girl next to her who is suitable for you, and then let her be the bridesmaid. Wang Duan smiled when he heard this. Then my brother's happiness depends on you. The two smiled at each other, and everything was said without words. It's a nice day today. Wang Duan looked at the sky and said so. Hearing this, Gu Chufeng nodded. If nothing unexpected happens, tomorrow will be better. Just at this moment, Gu Chufeng's cell phone rang. It's Wang Ziki. Honey, my family wants us to go over for dinner tonight. Is this meeting the parents? Gu Chufeng was slightly stunned. Then he replied slowly. Good. At this time, in the office, Wang Ziki's face was full of tension. Because she was worried that the speed was too fast and Gu Chufeng would refuse. When she heard the phone ringing, her heart was filled with anxiety. She hoped it was the response she wanted to see. Turn on your phone. Good. When Wang Ziki saw the news, her face was full of joy. Hey. Honey, I'll be back in a minute. We'll go home then. Don't worry, my parents are very nice people and they like you very much. If that doesn't work, just say I'm pregnant. Seeing the last piece of news, Gu Chufeng burst out laughing. Pregnant. It's thanks to Wang Ziki that he can say such words. Please. I haven't done anything yet. If she got pregnant, Gu Chufeng felt that he would be cuckolded. Then I got pregnant with sweet and sour pork ribs. Sweet and sour pork ribs, this is what they had for lunch today. Seeing this news, Wang Ziki smiled knowingly. What's wrong? You look so happy. Wang Duan next to him looked at Gu Chufeng and smiled, with curiosity in his tone. Let's go to Huang's for dinner tonight. Good fellow, meeting the parents? Well, if you tell me in a few days that Wang Ziki is pregnant, I won't be surprised. Gu Chufeng thought about it. Then you have to work hard. Go away, you are bullying me, a single dog, again. Chapter 12, knocking on the door at home late at night. Wang Ziki, husband, you promised me during the day. After seeing off Wang Duan and the other two, Gu Chufeng sat on the sofa. He had heard of the Huang family. Not to mention the business circle in Shanghai, even the entire Kyushu business circle would tremble if one stomped one's foot. However, now the core industries of the Huang family have basically been handed over to Wang Ziki. Wang Ziki is very capable. Under his leadership, the family business has completed its reform and its development speed has reached a higher level. Gu Chufeng took out his mobile phone and found Wang Ziki's chat interface. Should I prepare any gifts? Gu Chufeng said so. After all, it was his first time going there, so he had to bring some gifts. At this time, Wang Ziki heard the sound of a mobile phone in the office, picked up the phone, and thought about it. I've already asked someone to prepare it. Don't worry, I'm here. My parents said that if I could bring my boyfriend back, that would be the best gift. Wang Ziki thought Gu Chufeng was a little nervous, so she said this. Hearing this, Gu Chufeng breathed a sigh of relief. Then I'll transfer the money to you. Gu Chufeng said so. Silly, your money, my money, isn't it all our money in the end? Be good. Okay, I'm going home. Are you ready for a kiss at home? After saying these words, Wang Ziki made another shy expression. Seeing this news, Gu Chufeng smiled. Okay. Time passed by little, and after a while, the sound of the door opening was heard. Since the two people lived together, Gu Chufeng gave the other party a key, which also made it convenient for the other party to come back. Reply. Before Gu Chufeng could finish his words, Wang Ziki hugged Gu Chufeng directly. At this time, the door was not closed yet. I want to kiss. It's a tongue kiss. Hearing this, Gu Chufeng looked at the door. The door isn't closed yet. It's okay. We are the only two people living in this floor anyway. After saying this, Wang Ziki kissed her without any hesitation. Then a few minutes later, the two separated. If you look closely, you will find that there is a certain redness around Gu Chufeng's lips. This is because the two people kissed too hard just now. It feels good. I wanted to kiss you just now in the office. It would be nice if you could flash, and then when I wanted to kiss you, you would appear in front of me in an instant. Hearing this, Gu Chufeng burst out laughing. Am I really that charming? At noon, I had just kissed Wang Ziki for almost 10 minutes. Then let's kiss each other in the evening, otherwise I'll have a sausage mouth when we go to your house. Hearing this, Wang Ziki blushed. She was shy at this time. That. I want tonight. After hearing what Wang Ziki said, Gu Chufeng was stunned for a moment. No, isn't it so perverted? You're so perverted. When saying this, Gu Chufeng's tone was full of sarcasm. Hey. Please, just promise me. Wang Ziki stared with her big eyes and looked at Gu Chufeng pleadingly. Finally, Gu Chufeng had no choice but to nod and agree. However, they still had to go to Wang's house soon, so the two went back to change clothes. Because it was their first time there, Gu Chufeng could wear a suit. At this time, it could perfectly highlight Gu Chufeng's upright figure. Just standing there, everyone's attention would be directly attracted to him. That kind of charm had made countless girls obsessed with him. No wonder, as Su Qiaoxue's best friend, Chen Chen had always wanted to sleep with Gu Chufeng. But it didn't happen. So handsome. I don't want you to go out anymore. I'm afraid that you'll be liked by many people when you go out. What if someone kidnaps me when the term is over? Hearing this, Gu Chufeng smiled. He rubbed Huang Ziqi's hair. Don't worry, it's yours, no one can take it away. That's right. If anyone takes you away, I will sink him into the sea. This is some bloody violence. After the two of them had tidied themselves up, they went downstairs. What did you buy? My dad likes antiques, so I bought some vintage items and a designer bag for my mom, and that should be enough. Hearing this, Gu Chufeng nodded. No, now Gu Chufeng feels like he is a gigolo. The vehicle is running smoothly on the road. The Huang family's old house is located in the suburbs. It is a traditional Chinese courtyard with a Jiangnan style. Looking at it from the outside gives people a sense of antiquity. Miss, sir, are you two here? Hearing this, Huang Ziqi nodded, handed the gifts in his hand to the person next to him, then put his arm around Gu Chufeng's shoulder, and the two of them walked in. When Gu Chufeng and Huang Ziqi entered, Su Qiaoxue on the other side had already received the news. Miss, our people said that around 4 o'clock this afternoon, Mr. Gu and Miss Huang returned to the Huang family. What? Hearing this, Su Qiaoxue was slightly surprised. Go home? Does this count as meeting the parents? How could this be? He is more familiar with the situation of the Huang family. She was also sure that the Huang family must know about her relationship with Gu Chufeng. Under such circumstances, how could they allow Gu Chufeng to enter their home? Are you sure? Su Qiaoxue didn't even notice that her voice was trembling at this moment. It can be seen that she was really panicked at this moment. She was so calm these 2 days because she felt that the Huang family would never let Gu Chufeng and Huang Ziqi be together no matter what, and that their family would definitely step in to separate Gu Chufeng and Huang Ziqi. But now, it seems that her idea was obviously a pipe dream. She was actually willing to meet Gu Chufeng. Damn it. At this moment, Su Qiaoxue's face was ugly. Yes. The staff didn't know what to say and could only lower their heads. Okay, keep watching. Be sure to tell me when they come out. The staff heard this and nodded. Clear. Watching the staff leave, Su Qiaoxue's eyes were gloomy and uncertain. I originally thought that Gu Chufeng would come back after he and Huang Ziqi broke up, but now it seems that everything is wrong. At this time, the Huang family. Originally, Gu Chufeng thought that he would be bullied after coming here, but he did not expect that Huang's parents seemed quite kind. I've heard of you. A genius in the world of finance. I haven't failed in any investment yet. Father Huang looked at Gu Chufeng with satisfaction in his tone. He actually knew about the relationship between Gu Chufeng and Su Qiaoxue, but there was nothing he could do because Huang Ziqi liked her. And despite these disgraceful experiences, Gu Chufeng's abilities, appearance, and temperament are all top-notch. No, it's just luck. Luck? Har, how can it be luck? Success once, you can call it that. Success twice, that's a bit of a stretch. Success 3 or even more than 10 times, can you call it luck? You are really talented, you have a unique vision, and you act decisively. I think many times, Ziqi is not as good as you in judging some industries. That is true. Although Gu Chufeng does not have the ability to judge all industries, he does have the judgment on 70% of the industries. Such a person is truly a monster. Hey, Dad, why are you saying that? I'm pretty good too. Huang Ziqi is naturally not as aloof at home as she is at work. She seems to be a carefree girl at home. People like this can be truly happy. She knows when to relax and when to tighten up. Yes, our daughter is amazing. I am able to lead the company so well. Too invincible. Hearing this, Huang Ziqi smiled slightly. He, that's right, Gu Chufeng, do you think I'm awesome? Awesome, there is no one in the world more amazing than you. Huang Ziqi smiled happily. What do you think about the future development of the domestic economy? Hearing this, Gu Chufeng thought for a moment. Evacuate real estate. Hearing this, Huang's father was a little surprised. Real estate is obviously very hot right now, so why do you say you want to withdraw? Why? The expression on Mr. Huang's face was serious. Recent. Gu Chufeng slowly expressed his thoughts. Upon hearing this, Huang's father took a breath of cold air. I didn't expect that. I just got accurate information this afternoon about the policy tightening, and you actually predicted it 2 months ago. It's just luck. I prefer to be safe. If there is really a risk, I will choose to give up. I didn't expect that I would be so lucky. Wang Ziki originally thought that it would be awkward for Gu Chufeng to come here for the first time, but now looking at Gu Chufeng and his father, it seems that there is nothing to worry about. The two of them talked very speculatively, from the world situation to a certain industry, and Gu Chufeng answered fluently. You can tell at first glance that he truly understands these things and is not just a half-baked person. The fact that he has never failed in his investments is not just luck. If he doesn't have some real skills, there is nothing he can do. It's really amazing. The Yangtze River's waves behind push the waves in front, and each wave is higher than the last. But there are many things we should learn from you, our elders. We still haven't thought things through. The world is always changing. Sometimes our experience may not be useful to your judgment, and may even lead you to make wrong judgments. Father Huang looked at Gu Chufeng and said this. Hearing this, Gu Chufeng shook his head. But I think some experiences are useful at any time. Father Huang smiled. What are your plans next? My current idea is to take a break and then make some private investments. As for the longer-term plan, I might do something I like to do. Yes, after living a lifetime and enjoying life, in the end, I still find that I haven't done the things I like most. Sometimes you really have to do it early, otherwise you will regret it when you are old. Yes, you have a point. Can you drink? Certainly. Working in finance, it is impossible not to drink. Have a drink with me tonight. Dad, we're still going home tonight. How can we go home after drinking? Why do you want to go back? It's not like we don't have rooms for you guys at home, just stay at home. This. Wang Ziki glanced at Gu Chufeng. I was thinking about posting it. This is at home. That's settled. In the end, Huang's father directly confirmed the matter. After hearing this, Gu Chufeng could only agree to it. After all, how could you not listen to the words of your future father-in-law? If you don't listen, it's over. Is he out yet? Su Qiaoxue looked at the time. It was already 8 o'clock in the evening. It has been 4 hours since Gu Chufeng entered the Huang family. No. She is very upset now. Keep watching. Yes. 10 minutes later, Su Qiaoxue raised her head. Is he out yet? Miss, Mr. Gu hasn't come out yet. Su Qiaoxue couldn't sit still anymore. She came to the window. What do you think they will say tonight? I guess. I'm not sure either. What can I say? My daughter came with her boyfriend. And judging from the situation, it seems that the Huang family is very satisfied with Gu Chufeng. Otherwise, the Huang family would have let Gu Chufeng out long ago. And now, I wonder where I'll stay tonight. Then the biggest difficulty in Huang Ziki and Gu Chufeng's matter has been solved. The Huang family agreed. As long as the two of them follow the procedures, they should be able to get married. Getting married, Huang Ziki and Gu Chufeng. I'm afraid Su Qiaoxue has already thought of this, so the expression on her face is so ugly. But what can we do about it? It was Su Qiaoxue who gave up on Gu Chufeng in the beginning. And now? Don't know? Or dare not say. I really don't know about this. The staff member was already trembling with fear at this time. Please, what could he say? Su Qiaoxue was obviously not in a good condition now. If what he said made Su Qiaoxue feel uncomfortable, he might lose his job. Go down. Tell me immediately if anything happens. When the staff heard this, they felt as if they had been pardoned and quickly left. At this time, Su Qiaoxue on the balcony frowned. Gu Chufeng, are you really going to marry Huang Ziki? Marry. Gu Chufeng wore a groom's suit and Huang Ziki wore a wedding dress. When Su Qiaoxue thought of this scene, she felt a little overwhelmed. She clenched the phone in her hand, her eyes full of madness. No. Absolutely not. She doesn't allow this to happen. At this time, the Huang family also ended the party. Because Mr. Huang had almost finished drinking, he went back to rest. At this time, Gu Chufeng was also lying in the room. He can still stay sober now, but if he drinks more, he will be drunk. However, Gu Chufeng will not do much after getting drunk and will just fall asleep. After all, he is a pretty good drinker. Just when I was about to look at my phone for a while before going to sleep, my phone rang. Honey, open the door for me. Wang Ziki is here? How dare you come here if you're not at home? Not to mention, it's quite exciting. Chapter 13 Su Qiaoxue blocks the door. Gu Chufeng, you are so cruel. Gu Chufeng came to the door and opened it. Wang Ziki's face was slightly red. It seems that he feels that this is a bit embarrassing. After seeing the door was opened, Wang Ziki hurried in, also because he was afraid that others would see him. Aren't you afraid of being seen? Gu Chufeng's tone was full of teasing. Hearing this, Wang Ziki's face turned even redder and she gently patted Gu Chufeng's shoulder. Humph, it's all your fault. If it weren't for you, I wouldn't do such a thing. After saying this, Wang Ziki stretched out his hand. Seeing this, Gu Chufeng also knew what the other party wanted. He gave Wang Ziki a princess hug. Then carry her to bed. Because of drinking, the smell on Gu Chufeng's body was mixed with alcohol. This smell did not make people feel disgusted, but instead made people feel a sense of liking. At least that was the case with Wang Ziki. When she leaned against Gu Chufeng's chest, Wang Ziki's face was full of happiness. I'm so happy. How happy? Well, I'm just very happy. Hearing this, Gu Chufeng smiled. We will do this every day from now on. Gu Chufeng nodded. It will be like this every day from now on. But do you feel? At this time, Gu Chufeng looked around and spoke in a low voice. We have a feeling of having an affair. Wang Ziki thought about it and realized there really were some. Oh, don't worry, my husband won't come back. I am yours today. Maybe it was because it was the first time Wang Ziki said this, so right after he finished speaking, his face looked like a cooked crab, and there was a feeling of shame in Wang Ziki's eyes. After saying this, Wang Ziki pushed Gu Chufeng down and then sat on Gu Chufeng. You are. It should be pasted like this. At this time, Wang Ziki lay on Gu Chufeng, and this feeling made her feel warm. Seeing Wang Ziki like this, Gu Chufeng also stretched out his hand and hugged Wang Ziki's waist. Let me tell you something. What is it? Lying on Gu Chufeng's chest, Wang Ziki listened to the heartbeat coming from inside. Very rhythmic. I'm going to invest in a gaming company and sign the contract tomorrow. Hearing this, Wang Ziki nodded. Sure, isn't the money enough? If the money is not enough, I still have more than 10 billion in my own personal account. She is indeed a rich woman. More than 10 billion in private accounts. No need. I have enough money of my own. Just to tell you. After all, you are my wife now. My dear wife. These 4 words sounded extremely pleasant to Wang Ziki. I want to hear more. Wang Ziki opened her eyes, and at this time, her eyes were confused. What do you want to hear? Gu Chufeng clearly knew it, but now he just wanted to tease the other person. Wang Ziki patted Gu Chufeng on the shoulder. You know. I just want to listen. At this time, Wang Ziki pouted and looked particularly playful. Then tell me, what do you want to hear? Wang Ziki snorted shyly. Hubby, I want to hear you call me wife. Call me now. If you do, your wife will give you a reward. At this time, Wang Ziki was like a bad guy who forced a good woman into prostitution. Wife. Seeing that Wang Ziki was too shy, Gu Chufeng stopped teasing her. Hey. Sure enough, Wang Ziki's face was full of joy when he heard the other party calling him wife. Then Wang Ziki approached Gu Chufeng. Mua. This is a reward for you. That's it, eh? Gu Chufeng pretended to be disappointed, and Wang Ziki blushed. No. If you really want to, you have to go back. This is home after all. It would be weird if that were the case. I thought you were going to give me 2 kisses, but you only gave me 1. No, it's not. Looking at the smirk in Gu Chufeng's eyes, Wang Ziki was sure that this guy was bullying him. You. Oh, I didn't expect my wife to be so dirty. At this time, Wang Ziki really wanted to find a crack in the ground to crawl into. But it is obvious that the other party can't find the crack in the ground now. You are not allowed to say it. Otherwise. Humph, I will ignore you tomorrow. Wang Ziki pinched her waist and threatened. It was clearly a threat, but it had a cute feel to it, just like a campus romance. While Gu Chufeng and Wang Ziki were enjoying their time together, on the other side, Su Qiaoxue arrived at the door of Gu Chufeng's house. But she didn't have the key and couldn't get in. Looking at the door, Su Qiaoxue's eyes were complicated. At this moment, no one knew what she was thinking except herself. This time, Gu Chufeng's trip to the Huang family really caught everyone off guard. In her opinion, the Huang family would definitely separate the two of them. But they had no idea, as the Huang family seemed very satisfied with Gu Chufeng. Could it be that? Su Qiaoxue came to the corridor window. Looking at the darkness outside, Su Qiaoxue wondered what Gu Chufeng was doing now. Are you with Wang Ziki? Have they started discussing marriage? Wang Ziki didn't know about these things. It had never been like this before. No matter what Gu Chufeng did, Wang Ziki knew it. Even if she didn't know, Gu Chufeng would report it to her. Therefore, she knew everything about Gu Chufeng before. But now, the person who would tell her everything has left. Perhaps, she would use the same method she used to treat herself on other girls, such as Wang Ziki. Thinking that Gu Chufeng would comfort Wang Ziki, give her advice, and cook for her. Su Qiaoxue felt like she was having trouble breathing. But at this time, she could only wait. Wait for Gu Chufeng to come back. Dividing line. The next morning, because Wang Ziki needed to return to her room when no one else was paying attention, she set an alarm for herself. Hubby, I'm so reluctant to let you go. Wang Ziki hugged Gu Chufeng, her tone full of coquettishness. Hearing this, Gu Chufeng's mouth corners slightly raised, and then he rubbed the other's head. Be good, this is a special situation. When we get home tonight, you can do whatever you want. Well, that's all we can do. Although he was reluctant, Wang Ziki had no choice but to leave with great pain. Of course, before leaving, Wang Ziki also kissed Gu Chufeng for a few minutes. The reason is to advance the kiss that will be given during the day today. At 7 o'clock in the morning, Gu Chufeng and Wang Ziki finished their meal at Wang's house and left. Can you drive my car back? My driver is coming to pick me up. Hearing this, Gu Chufeng nodded. The two cars Wang Ziki bought were luxury cars, worth tens of millions. Gu Chufeng had never driven such a car before. Sitting in the driving seat of this car, for some reason, Gu Chufeng felt that there was no obvious difference between it and his own car worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. But it didn't matter. Gu Chufeng drove the car towards home. When Gu Chufeng got off the elevator, he was slightly stunned. Su Qiaoxue. Perhaps because she didn't sleep all night, Su Qiaoxue had some dark circles around her eyes. You went to Wang's house. When Su Qiaoxue saw Gu Chufeng coming back, her tone was cold. Hearing this, Gu Chufeng was a little surprised. You had someone follow me. Gu Chufeng's tone was calm. He did not answer Su Qiaoxue's question. What's the good answer to this? Now, Gu Chufeng and Su Qiaoxue no longer have any relationship. I'm asking you, did you go to the Huang family? Is this question important? Gu Chufeng's tone was calm. Hearing this, Su Qiaoxue was slightly stunned. In the past, Gu Chufeng had never spoken to her in such a tone. At this moment, Su Qiaoxue suddenly remembered that Gu Chufeng had hit her last time. Now that he had already hit her, there seemed to be nothing wrong with speaking in such a tone. In fact, Gu Chufeng had beaten Su Qiaoxue many times, but before, it was always on the bed. Are you going to get married? When Su Qiaoxue said this, her tone was filled with heartache. Maybe. Gu Chufeng looked at Su Qiaoxue and said. Maybe. These two words had a huge impact on Su Qiaoxue. Gu Chufeng and Wang Ziki got married. In Su Qiaoxue's mind, she couldn't imagine the scene of Gu Chufeng marrying someone else. Maybe it's not because she can't imagine it, but because she dares not imagine it. How long do you want to make trouble? You should know that my patience has its limits. I can promise you to get rid of Chen Bei. From now on, you will never see him again. Get Chen Bei away. If it were in the past, Gu Chufeng would definitely be very happy. But now, he is very calm. Gu Chufeng's current state can be described in one sentence: the child is dead, you know how to feed the baby. What's the use? Gu Chufeng looked at Su Qiaoxue. She felt that after she said this, she would be very excited, and then come back happily. He, Gu Chufeng, was not so mean. Maybe Su Qiaoxue didn't understand Gu Chufeng. When Gu Chufeng decided to give up on someone, he would behave more indifferently than anyone else. He shook his head. Su Qiaoxue, we are done. No, it seems our relationship never even started. In your eyes, I will always be a person who cannot stand the light. Everything you gave Qianbei was what I wanted most in the past, but now, I don't want it anymore. After saying this, Gu Chufeng came to the door and was about to open it when Su Qiaoxue's voice came. What I gave him, I can give to you, too. As long as you come back. Okay. Su Qiaoxue never thought that she would one day end up in such a humble position. People who know Su Qiaoxue may have never seen such a humble side of her. Hearing this, Gu Chufeng turned around and looked at Su Qiaoxue. No. We can't go back. From the day I decided to leave, I couldn't go back. Su Qiaoxue, in this world, no one will wait for you forever. I am very grateful that you brought me out of the abyss, but for so many years, I have worked diligently for you, and I have repaid your kindness. From now on, no, from the day I leave, we will go our separate ways. The road is wide and we can each walk on one side. From now on, there will be no you in my life, and there will be no me in your life. That's it. In the past few months, Gu Chufeng has experienced too much and figured out too much. Maybe leaving is my best choice. Whether it was for himself or Su Qiaoxue. Bump. Su Qiaoxue immediately hugged Gu Chufeng from behind. It still tastes the same. It's a familiar smell to Su Qiaoxue. For so many days, she would think of this smell in her dreams countless times at midnight. Come back, and I can pretend that what happened between you and Huang Ziki never happened. I will also let Qianbei leave. I can make it public that we are together, we can get married, we can have a wedding, and maybe, we will have children in the future. As long as you come back, I can give you all of these. Marriage, wedding, children. These were what Gu Chufeng had expected in the past. But now, he really doesn't look forward to it anymore. Perhaps their problem has never been Qianbei. Even if Qianbei wasn't there, there would be others. He didn't want to act like a nagging woman and target the people who appeared next to Su Qiaoxue. Gu Chufeng put his hand on Su Qiaoxue's hand. When Su Qiaoxue felt the warmth of Gu Chufeng's hand, her face was full of joy. She knew that Gu Chufeng would not leave her. But the next moment, the smile on Su Qiaoxue's face froze. She felt a powerful force against her fingers. And this force separated her hand and Gu Chufeng's arm. She wanted to stop him from leaving, but the other party had too much strength, and they slowly separated, just like the current situation. I'm sorry, I don't need it. Real. Leave. Giving our story a final period. I think I'll give you my blessing too. After saying this, Gu Chufeng opened the door and stepped in. Huang Ziki and I are doing well. We may get married once our relationship stabilizes. Of course, you can rest assured that you brought me out of the abyss. I will always remember this favor, so I will not help her deal with you. I also hope you won't come again. I like my current life very much. I haven't felt this way for a long time, so I don't want anyone to change my life like this. You are a smart person. If you keep nagging me, I will look down on you. After saying these last few words, Gu Chufeng closed the door. Su Qiaoxue was the only one left in the corridor. Looking at the closed door, Su Qiaoxue smiled. But soon after, Su Qiaoxue's eyes turned red. Leave the last period, I will look down on you. These words were like one knife after another, leaving me covered in wounds. How could I possibly let it go? Gu Chufeng, you really have a cruel heart. Real. But I won't give up on you. You and Huang Ziki will never get married. After saying this, Su Qiaoxue turned and left. Give up? No. This is not her style. From childhood to adulthood, as long as I like something, it will always be my own. No one else can ever take it away. Chapter 14. Su Qiaoxue followed the investment, so that we can have intersections in life. Not long after Su Qiaoxue left, Desi arrived. Mr. Gu. This is our contract, please take a look. The other party handed the contract to Gu Chufeng. Gu Chufeng took a quick look at the contract and found no problem, so he put the contract on the table. I've thought about it. If your game is really popular, almost half of the revenue will be mine. Don't you feel like you've lost out? It's still not too late to regret now. Gu Chufeng looked at Desi and said this. Hearing this, Desi shook his head. Won't. Without your investment, I'm afraid our company and this game would be doomed. I think very clearly that since you have invested a lot of money, it is normal for you to get a higher dividend ratio. If I can't figure this out myself, I'm afraid you won't invest in me. Hearing this, Gu Chufeng nodded. At this time, Gu Chufeng signed his name without any hesitation. When the name is signed, the contract becomes effective. I'll have someone transfer the money directly to you this afternoon. But when are you going to start marketing? Gu Chufeng looked at the other person with confusion in his tone. Hearing this, Desi smiled. Tomorrow. So soon? Yes, our game has been completed. Everything is ready except for the east wind. Now that the east wind has come, we will naturally not hesitate. Hearing this, Gu Chufeng nodded. Okay, I believe you should be able to get the results I want. Of course, we won't let you down. The two of them smiled at each other, and everything was said without words. Desi left after signing the contract. At the same time, on the other side, Su Qiaoxue also returned to the company. When Qianbei saw Su Qiaoxue coming back, a smile appeared on his face. When he was about to say something, Su Qiaoxue pushed open the door of the chairman's office and walked in, as if she didn't see him. Qianbei felt a little embarrassed at this time. Sitting in the office, Su Qiaoxue was still thinking about what had just happened. She felt an inexplicable fear in her heart. This was the first time this feeling appeared. If she had only felt it was possible before, now Su Qiaoxue really felt that Gu Chufeng might leave her. It feels like the most important thing in your life has left your body, which is really uncomfortable. Just at this moment, there was a knock on the door. Enter. A staff member walked in from outside. What's up? Chairman, we just received news that Mr. Gu invested in a gaming company yesterday. They signed the contract this morning. It is said that Mr. Gu invested nearly 200 million yuan in this company. Hearing this, Su Qiaoxue frowned. What game company? We checked and found out that it was a two-dimensional game company. It was said that they had already released a product, but because two-dimensional games had never appeared on the internet, no investors were willing to invest. When Su Qiaoxue heard this, she kept tapping the table. Now she and Gu Chufeng had no contact at all, and there was no overlap in their lives. This seemed to be the best opportunity. Contact this company and tell them that I said that I am willing to invest 100 million yuan in this company as an individual. Hearing this, the staff frowned. Chairman, our company does not have any layout in the gaming field. What are you doing? The staff had some misunderstandings. Didn't they say that I personally invested 100 million? It has nothing to do with the company. If you're told to do this, just do it. After hearing this, the staff had nothing to say but nodded and went down to arrange the matter. Looking at the staff members leaving, Su Qiaoxue's face was full of indifference. Gu Chufeng, you are mine, don't even think about escaping from my grasp. At this moment, Su Qiaoxue's eyes were full of determination. As soon as the staff member walked out of the chairman's door, Qianbei came over immediately. The whole company knew that Qianbei had a special relationship with the chairman. Although he had no ability and only knew how to hold him back, everyone in the company still respected Qianbei for the sake of face. After all, this person might become the chairman's husband in the future. Although everyone thinks that this person is not worthy at all. Secretary Chen, what's going on? What happened to the chairman just now? Nothing, it's just that the chairman wants to invest in a gaming company. Hearing this, Qianbei frowned. A gaming company? Yes, it's strange to say, after Brother Gu invested in this company, the chairman also invested, probably because he thought Brother Gu had high standards. Qianbei was surprised when he heard what the other party said. Invested by Gu Chufeng. So Su Qiaoxue also wants to invest. Does this mean that Su Qiaoxue still has feelings for Gu Chufeng? How is this possible? He had put in so much effort just to get Gu Chufeng to leave, but now it seemed that his Enqi was like a clown. For a moment, the expression on Qianbei's face became very ugly. Gu Chufeng, why is it still you? You've already gone away, how can you still threaten me? Damn it. At this time, Chen Bei's hatred for Gu Chufeng had reached its peak. He really wanted to kill Gu Chufeng directly. That way, no one would compete with him for Su Qiaoxue. Secretary Chen, what can I do for you? If there's nothing else, I'll leave first. Hearing this, Chen Bei shook his head. He sat in his seat, constantly thinking about this matter in his mind. Could it be that Su Qiaoxue is still obsessed with Gu Chufeng? He also suggested living in the villa, but Su Qiaoxue refused every time. This gave him an ominous feeling. It would be best if this guy gets hit by a car when he goes out tomorrow. Chen Bei said viciously in his heart. At this moment, Chen Bei's cell phone suddenly rang. He picked up the phone and opened the message. Brother Chen. Already invested in that stock. Just wait to make money. It's still rising like crazy today. When he saw this news, Chen Bei felt a little relieved. This is also good news. If there is really no way to become a regular employee, then it doesn't matter. As long as you have money, it's okay. Okay, I'll wait for your good news. Okay. I have to say that Chen Bei really has no financial knowledge. When a stock is rising wildly, he must be cautious. Because this situation is very likely to be a case of fleecing, but this guy did not do any background check and directly invested. It can only be said that he is stupid and has a lot of money. Moreover, the money is not his own, but 30 million transferred out of the company through various methods. At this moment, Chen Bei closed his eyes and imagined himself making money. In his eyes, as long as he could make money and then pay back the 30 million, the company would not find any problems. But the prerequisite was that this thing must make money. If it did not make money and he lost all his money in a bankruptcy, then Chen Bei would never be able to make up the 30 million whole. At the same time, on the other side, Gu Chufeng received news from Huang Ziki. According to the grapevine, that stock will officially explode after get off work on Friday. Gu Chufeng was not surprised when he saw the news. No stock can go up forever. The recent astonishing rise in this stock must have many problems. The most likely reason is to reap the profits. Now that the profits have almost been harvested, there is naturally no need to continue investing money in it. The reason why it is Friday is because the market is closed on weekends and no buying or selling can be done. This also leads to a decline in the market. Although retail investors are very anxious, they cannot sell their stocks and can only experience despair. Fortunately, I sold it straight away. Gu Chufeng said so. Huang Ziki smiled when he saw the news. To be honest, she really admired Gu Chufeng's decisiveness. With such a rise in price, Gu Chufeng actually said he would sell. This kind of courage is not something that ordinary people can have. Wow, my husband is amazing. Oh my god, why is my husband so awesome? Kiss. Mua. Are this. Not to mention, Huang Ziki provides a lot of emotional value. But at this time, Gu Chufeng still felt a little embarrassed. It seems that my property is not as much as Huang Ziki's. Hey. I'm so embarrassed. I'll be looking for a rich woman to support me in the future. Gu Chufeng and Huang Ziki were chatting casually, probably because they were not too busy at work. But rich women have some benefits. I wonder if I can get some benefits. Huang Ziki was like a lustful ghost at this time. Don't think that only boys are lustful. In fact, many girls are more lustful. After seeing the news, Gu Chufeng felt a little embarrassed, which was rare. What benefits do you want? How about I give you a kiss? Gu Chufeng said so. I see. Not quite enough. If someone could send me abs, I would be happy. In fact, Gu Chufeng has abdominal muscles. After all, if you keep exercising, it's hard not to have it. Moreover, Gu Chufeng's abdominal muscles are different from those that are specially built for bodybuilding to attract the same sex. His abdominal muscles have basically no appeal to the same sex, but for the opposite sex, combined with his face, they are completely a killer. I see. Not really. To prevent someone from doing something evil with my photo. Huang Ziki blushed when she saw the news. I wouldn't do that. It's almost time to get off work. I can do something bad to Gu Chufeng himself, so why do I need to do anything bad to the photo? Snort. No way. I'll go touch it after get off work. Reserved. No. Miss Wang has never known how to write these two words since she was a child. Okay, then quickly think about what to touch. I'll pick you up first. Now Gu Chufeng had nothing to do at home, so he took the initiative to pick up Wang Ziki from get off work every day. There were still quite a few cars at this time, but my home was relatively close to the company, so although there was a traffic jam, I still arrived at Wang Ziki's place before getting off work. Then, as soon as we met. Would you mind not being so hasty? Looking at Wang Ziki, who was doing all kinds of things to him, Gu Chufeng sighed. Maybe this woman is a little impatient. Chapter 15. Su Qiaoxue declares war on Wang Ziki. Chen Bei, go to the logistics department. After receiving Su Qiaoxue's order, the staff immediately contacted Desi. When Desi received the call, he did not expect that the project that no one cared about a few days ago, now that he had no shortage of money, he wanted to invest again. However, the money given by Gu Chufeng was enough, and he also gave more than half of the dividend rights. If he agreed to the investment at this time, then for Desi himself, the dividend ratio would be too low. I'm sorry, but we really don't have any other investment ideas at the moment. After hearing this, the staff frowned. This was the first time they had encountered such a thing. You offer money so eagerly, but the other party doesn't want it. Outrageous. I think you can listen to our thinking on this. We are willing to invest 100 million yuan for only 5% of the shares. At the same time, we do not need to participate in the daily management of the company or the voting. We will entrust you to handle it all. You just need to provide us with dividends. To be honest, even the staff didn't understand why Su Qiaoxue gave such conditions, because no matter how you look at it, these conditions were really too bad compared to the 100 million yuan of funds. However, this was Su Qiaoxue's personal investment, not the company's investment. Otherwise, the company's top management would definitely be particularly opposed to it after knowing about this. I see. What I don't understand is that this condition is very good for us, but for you, this condition is very ordinary. Desi didn't quite understand something. Are there such idiots in the world? In fact, he had no idea that Su Qiaoxue had invested 100 million yuan. It didn't matter whether there were conditions or whether she could make money. She just needed an opportunity to interact with Gu Chufeng. Even if she had to throw the 100 million yuan into the sea, as long as she could have the opportunity to contact Gu Chufeng, she would do it without hesitation. Miss Su is not short of money. Even if she just lies at home, the companies she invests in can bring her 50 million in profits every day. As for 100 million, it's just 2 days. I think this condition is very good. If there are no problems, I think we can sign the contract today. When Desi heard what the other party said, he was also a little hesitant. 5% of the shares in exchange for 100 million. Although the money provided by Gu Chufeng is enough for the current marketing plan, with this 100 million, they can make more marketing strategies and the effect will be better. Are you sure this is the condition you mentioned? Certainly. The staff nodded. After hearing this, Desi made his choice. Okay, then follow your ideas. After resolving the communication issue, the staff came to Su Qiaoxue's office and knocked on the door. When they heard someone coming from inside, they pushed the door open and walked in. At this time, the expression on Su Qiaoxue's face was not very good. He looked gloomy and uncertain, like an ancient tyrant. Chairman. The things you told me to do have basically been dealt with. The other party accepted our conditions and is currently rushing to the company to discuss the contract details with us. Chairman. At this time, the staff member plucked up the courage and looked at Su Qiaoxue. How? Are you investing in this company for Brother Gu? When Su Qiaoxue heard this, she was stunned for a moment. Go out. When they arrive, just bring them directly to my office. The staff member knew that although the chairman did not say it, since he said so, he must have tacitly agreed to the matter. He nodded, turned around and walked out. Looking at the staff members leaving, Su Qiaoxue sighed. If it wasn't for him, why would I invest in this company? Gu Chufeng. It would be great if you were still with me. Su Qiaoxue didn't know why, but she recalled the time when she was with Gu Chufeng in the past. At that time, Su Qiaoxue didn't have any special feelings. She just felt that he was a little puppy she raised. She could do whatever she wanted with him and he would never leave her. But now, when she recalled the past again, she felt a sense of sweetness, but at that time, she ignored this sweetness. But now when I recall them, all these sweet things have turned into knives that leave me covered with wounds. Soon, Desi arrived at Su Qiaoxue's company. Led by the staff, a group of people walked into Su Qiaoxue's office. When Chen Bei saw these people come in, his eyes were full of jealousy. He had also heard that this time Su Qiaoxue invested 100 million yuan in this company, and the conditions she asked for were very low. He knew that Su Qiaoxue did it for Gu Chufeng, otherwise, she would not have invested in this company at all. About 100 million. Chen Bei didn't even know how much money 100 million was. If they were put together, they would probably kill themselves. And now, for Gu Chufeng, Su Qiaoxue actually took out so much money. At this time, his eyes were full of madness, because the money Su Qiaoxue gave him was only a few million, but now Su Qiaoxue actually took out 100 million for Gu Chufeng. Why? Why isn't this for yourself? But unfortunately, Chen Bei does not have this value. Here's the contract. If you have any questions, you can just ask. Hearing this, Desi nodded. Then he handed it to the lawyer next to him, who took a quick look and found no problems. No problem. Hearing this, Desi nodded. Okay, then in that case, we'll sign the contract. Desi wrote his name on this contract. Immediately afterwards, Su Qiaoxue also wrote down her name. As the two people signed the contract, they officially reached a cooperation. Within an hour, the money will appear in your account. Thank you, Mr. Su. Desi nodded. I'm just a little curious. You are such a powerful figure, why would you spend so much money to get such a bad condition? To be honest, I don't care about your company, and I don't care about the 100 million. I'm thinking about other things. Something else. At this time, Desi thought of the rumors he had heard recently. It looks like it should be Gu Chufeng. At this time, Desi couldn't help but envy Gu Chufeng, Huang Ziki, and Su Qiaoxue, two business goddesses, for competing for him. This was really. Desi felt that if he could be pursued by Huang Ziki or Su Qiaoxue, he would be willing to do so even if it meant becoming the richest man in the world. Understood. Just rest assured, I have always been very responsible to my investors. It's the same for Mr. Gu, and it's also true for you. When Su Qiaoxue heard the three words, Mr. Gu, the expression on her face changed obviously. I hope so. After sending this person away, Su Qiaoxue clenched her fists. Chairman, what do you think will happen next? Spread this news and tell Huang Ziki that my people will always be mine. She wants to snatch them away, but that's impossible. The corners of Su Qiaoxue's mouth rose slightly. Gu Chufeng can only be his. If someone tries to snatch it away, she won't be polite. Clear. The staff member nodded and prepared to leave, but when he was about to leave, Chen Bei happened to come in. Seeing Chen Bei, the staff member nodded, made room for him, and motioned for Chen Bei to go in. When she saw Chen Bei, Su Qiaoxue frowned. These days she has been comparing Gu Chufeng and Chen Bei. The final conclusion is: my best friend is right. Chen Bei is not as good as Gu Chufeng no matter what. It was really a mistake to bring Chen Bei into the company in the first place, but there is still a chance to change. Yes, Su Qiaoxue feels that she still has a chance now, but she doesn't know that Gu Chufeng has already given up on her, and she will not have any chance. Qiaoxue. Chen Bei looked at Su Qiaoxue, his voice trembling. When he was in the company, he always called him Mr. Su. But now, he called Qiaoxue. At this moment, his eyes were red, and people who didn't know him would think that this guy had suffered a great injustice. This trick was really useful to Su Qiaoxue in the past, but now, seeing this guy looking so aggrieved, Su Qiaoxue felt an indescribable disgust. If you have something to say, just say it. Do you still have Brother Gu in your heart? Chen Bei looked at Su Qiaoxue and tears fell unconsciously. People say goddesses are made of water, so Chen Bei is probably made of tears. To be honest, no one knows how Chen Bei can cry anytime and anywhere. It's simply outrageous. This has nothing to do with you. Chen Bei, you should know that I like smart people. There are some things you can't get involved in. Hearing this, Chen Bei's heart skipped a beat. Su Qiaoxue had never spoken to him like this before. The expression on his face turned ugly for a moment. At this moment, he had a bad feeling in his heart. He didn't know why, but he felt that he might be in trouble. I know. I didn't want to do anything, Qiaoxue. I just want to be with you forever, even if I don't have any identity. Chen Bei's look at this time was really pitiful, which could arouse the desire to protect him in many girls. It was for this reason that Su Qiaoxue brought him back. If she knew everything now, Su Qiaoxue would definitely not bring him back. But unfortunately, there is everything in this world, but there is no regret medicine. Some things have been done, and you can only bear the bitter consequences, and there is no way to change it. Seeing Chen Bei like this, Su Qiaoxue felt even more annoyed. It's just right that you're here too. I have something to tell you. Your salary will remain the same, but your job position needs some adjustments. Go to the logistics department. It's a better place for you. At this time, Chen Bei was shocked. Logistics department. That department is the lowest level department in the entire company. Generally speaking, it is only used when buying work supplies for the company, and it has no sense of existence at other times. Therefore, this department is called a department, but in fact it has only a dozen people, and these dozen people are basically relatives of the company's senior management. If he goes in, it would be exile. Although the treatment remained the same, the time I spent with Su Qiaoxue had disappeared. Could it be that? Qiaoxue, I beg you, please don't let me go to the logistics department, please. Chen Bei didn't know what he should say at this time, and his voice was trembling. Chen Bei, go ahead. Otherwise, I guarantee that you won't be able to stay in the company. Hearing this, Chen Bei was stunned. Threaten. That's the threat. Su Qiaoxue had never said this to herself before. Perhaps at this moment he understood Gu Chufeng's feelings at that time. But in fact, the pain he feels now is nothing compared to what Gu Chufeng felt back then. Because Gu Chufeng had real feelings, and only because of feelings, he would be seriously hurt, but now Chen Bei is just worried about his own happy life, so in this case, he doesn't suffer much. Chen Bei walked out in a daze, came to his seat and started packing his things. Seeing this scene, the people in the secretariat were all happy. These people in the secretariat are all true elites, graduated from top prestigious universities and have strong abilities. What they look down upon the most are trash like Chen Bei. And it doesn't matter if you are trash, as long as you learn to behave yourself under normal circumstances, no one will mind. But you are trash, but you still rely on the chairman's favor to act arrogantly and boss people around. Now that you are like this, everyone must be happy. But although they were happy in their hearts, they would not say anything. After all, such things were unpredictable. What if this guy came back one day? A truly smart person would not leave a big bomb for himself. Chen Bei knew that these people must be gloating. Their eyes were like knives piercing their bodies one after another. That really feels like a thorn in the side. He looked viciously at the door of Su Qiaoxue's office. Then he took his things and left. Meanwhile, inside the office, Su Qiaoxue was resting behind closed doors when her cell phone rang. It was Xie Shihan. After seeing that it was Xie Shihan calling, Su Qiaoxue sat up and answered the call. Hello. Oh my god, what's going on? Are you ready to go to war with Huang Ziki? The news of Su Qiaoxue's investment had already begun to spread, so Xie Shihan knew about it immediately. Therefore, she keenly judged that this time it should be for Gu Chufeng, and Su Qiaoxue spread this news, without a doubt, to officially tell Huang Ziki I will not give in to Gu Chufeng. Although Huang Ziki is like a gentle kitten in front of Gu Chufeng, she is actually a strong goddess in the business world. How can she give up? How is it possible? If she is willing to give up, she will not take Gu Chufeng to her old house to meet her parents. Therefore, it can be seen that there will be bloody storms between these two women. Chapter 16 Huang Ziki is helpless. I cry to my husband, Su Qiaoxue, why are you breaking down? There's no way I'll give Gu Chufeng to her. Su Qiaoxue's words also made Xie